Hey, what's up?
I was just starting up my stream, so I canceled it when I got the notification that you started one. So,
Yeah, we just had an earthquake here, man.
oh wow,
Yeah, I was sitting here. I was fired up the generator, came back in here, sat down, and I was like, just working with Prince. I got Prince in here now, and I was like, it was like somebody was shaking the house, not an abrupt shake, so it was kind of far away. You know what I'm saying? But it was like,
yeah,
woo, 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 and the mirrors shaking and the glasses are tingling together. You know, I'm like, what the hell? But yeah, no shit. Oh man.
yep, I'm seeing it right here. It is a 3.7, and it was 7 kilometers southeast of Williamsville, Missouri, wherever that
Yeah, I was
is.
gonna say it was bigger than the 3. So yeah. And the shaking lasted for more than 15 seconds, so which is a long time when it's shaking.
Yeah, it was 15 kilometers deep.
Oh wow. Wow, yeah, because I was like, what the heck? Hey, Huckleberry, how you doing? Oh man. I'm gonna start the show off with cuteness. Come here, Prince. Good boy. He's responding to his name finally.
Hey, what's up, Huck? What's up, Ghost?
Come here, Prince. Come here, Prince. Come here. Yes, I want to. He's so big. Look how big they are now. He's only 3 months old.
That's insane.
I know. He's so big.
Oh my.
They're 3 months old. Come here. Oh, he's. Oh, he's there. Oh, he's like, I want to hide. He still looks like a puppy. but he's a big old puppy. Mm. Oh, he's been inside. He's been. I've had him. I've been working with him all day, and I'm gonna keep him in the crate in the room here, so we can start working with him. And he was just raw puppy, you know, just running with the rest of the crowd. And now he's getting so big. Such a big old puppy. It's only 3 months old. He's bigger than Ranger was.
Yeah, the earthquake map says it was like due south of you, probably a good towards the Arkansas border, down by Poplar Bluff.
Yeah, that would be the New Madrid area.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, he's so big, baby. Oh. I know Ranger wouldn't let me hold him this long either. Yeah, but he's such a good puppy. Yeah, he's already well beyond 15 pounds. Yes. He's there.
Zoomed.
You're gonna be a Nightingale. Hey, Dennis. What's up? Oh, oh. Oh, he's just a big cuddle bug. Oh, no. Yeah, a lot of evil is up, that's for sure. I'm protected by cuteness. And Ranger. Right. He's a great big old fur baby. Look at that big old paw. 3 months old. Oh my gosh. You're going to be a beast. Yes, oh, I know, baby. All this newness to him. He's not been inside before. You know, I've worked with him before, but he's just been outside. He did go outside. He didn't go potty in the house. He cried and he wanted to go out. And I took him out to go potty. So he's already doing real good with that. Oh yeah. And he still smells like a brand new puppy. And his sister, I'm calling her Princess in honor of Princess. She's every bit as big as he is. In fact, they could be twins. They kind of are. Ranger never let me hold him this long. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's got needle teethers. His tubers are all needles. He's already got fangs. Oh. What's up? So how was your day, Ganesh?
long, and it dragged ass all day long.
Oh yeah.
Like I went in at 1:00, and the first time that I checked the clock after I got in, it was 3:30, but it felt like it was already like 6:30. That's how slow it was going.
Oh wow.
We didn't get our main rush, the rush hour, people coming home from work, getting their beer and their lottery. Usually
Right.
that starts like 3:45, 4:00. That didn't hit us until about 5:30, 6:00 tonight. Everything was just running slow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was better. Is that better? Yeah. Hard to believe he's 3 months old, even for me. But, dude. But yeah, so your rush was delayed?
Yeah, kind of. And people are getting pissed because we don't have the kind of beer they want because of supply chain issues. And
Oh,
I think the girls that did the ordering this past weekend fucked up because we did not get anywhere near what we needed.
oh
And
wow.
we got Thanksgiving coming up, so um, the day before Thanksgiving is traditionally one of the biggest, if not the biggest, drinking days of the year. So we're gonna be, if we don't get an extra delivery by then, we're gonna be out of a lot of the major sellers that people go for that shit, and people gonna be pissed.
Oh wow. Right. Right.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Prince. Yeah. Right. People pay for massages. Oh, oh, oh. It's like, okay, no.
Well, yeah, Ghost. That's what I'm saying. They're using supply chain issues as an excuse. And with all these beer vendors and soda vendors and everything, they're all using that excuse to get away with the fact that they're concentrating on their bigger clients and fucking over their smaller clients. All the big grocery stores and big box stores are getting all the product, and we're not.
Right.
No, hippies, we don't take calls here.
Yeah, we could. You could come up on
You
screen
can
with us.
come up on screen with us, but we don't take phone calls.
Right.
And NC Girl, welcome in.
Hey, Nancy girl, you need a puppy. See, this is just a 3 month old puppy. That's all he is. Is 3 months old. I got three more just like him. Four more just like him. Yeah, it's so cute and so cuddly. It's really kind of interesting. Yeah, well, they got a problem because even OSHA said no, we ain't doing the mandate shit. Oh, oh, he's a big boy. I put him on the lead today, and he's like, I don't know what this is. I don't want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he got his first training today on the lead. He did okay after a little while, but he still don't like the lead. He was like, I let him go, and he followed around pretty good. But there's coming times where we're going to have to put leads on him. Even Ranger doesn't like his lead, but he does. Oh, he's snuggling in. Okay. He's getting almost too big to pick up, you know?
Oh, when you first lifted him, yeah, when you first lifted him up a couple minutes ago, I was like, what?
Yeah. Good
Baby
boy.
polar bear.
Uh-huh. Yeah, these are more polar bear than Ranger would. They're going to be bigger than Ranger. They're into it. Buffers. Yeah. He's going to be awesome. He's going to be an awesome dog. But yeah, well, yeah, he's had super nutrients since before he was born. I can't say that about Ranger. You know what I'm saying? I know. Yes, it's okay. Good boy. Yeah, he's bigger than Ranger was at 3 months. Ooh, link. Oh,
I
good
already
deal.
got it.
All right. So they still haven't put out a verdict.
Nope.
You know what it is, don't you? Just like they're saying, they're worried about what people are going to say.
Yep. Well, they're worried about how people are going to react in some of the bigger cities. They're giving
Right.
them extra time to get prepared for violence.
Right.
Already,
They got no choice but to quit him.
like the police, like I saw earlier this week, the police department in Kenosha said, "Oh, we're not really worried about it. You know, we got everything under control." And then yesterday, the governor in Wisconsin called up 500 troops out of the guard and have them on standby to go to Kenosha. And God knows what's going to happen in Chicago.
Oh, Shadow Man caught fire in the bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, 1 minute warning, but hey, that's cool.
Hey, we've been late a few times, so we're making up for lost time.
I need to scrape my bowl out real quick.
Pet sitting. Pet sitting for 12 years and owned a gourmet dog biscuit bakery for 10. Oh, wow. Not again. Huckleberry, I thought you were coming up.
No, she wanted the link for that new guy, hippie.
Oh. Yeah. I made spaghetti tonight. It was good. Noodles were done just perfectly.
I had some nasty spaghetti for lunch today from work. Yeah, I don't like the sauce they use here.
Oh, right.
But then I treated myself. I got a really nice coupon from Uber Eats that I had to use up tonight. It was order $25 worth of food, get $20 off. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll use that. So I got some subs from a good regional sub shop around here. I'll munch on one here in a little bit. Alrighty, Don.
Hey, Don, that's a little redundant, isn't it?
Well, yeah,
He's
actually it
covering
is.
all the bases.
Right.
Well, contrary to what you may think, there are some liars and scumbags out there that are not lawyers. I
Oh, okay.
know, hard to believe, right? But yeah,
Yeah. The professional liars and scumbags are lawyers.
exactly. But all the pros, they're lawyers. But that's just my humble opinion. Somebody asked me, why don't you talk to me anymore? And my retort was, because you lied to me. You only get to lie to me once. After that, we don't talk.
Right.
We're done.
Yep. Yeah, maybe. Yep, that's a fact. Shadow Man, no, I haven't heard anything from the investigators at all.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time
Yeah, it's going to take some time for them.
because they got to establish procedure on how they handle those things.
They don't get any help from the sheriff's department. Period.
And they won't let me shoot them.
Yeah, and they won't let me shoot them either.
So, free healthcare, baby. I knew you were out there. I knew. So, yeah, the builder is saying Friday we'll get the keys.
Oh, badass.
Pretty fucking
Sweet.
exciting. We're going to move the RV tomorrow. Yeah, I'm charged. It's happening. All this waiting, all this waiting, all this cussing, all this money, all this pain and pain and hemorrhoidal flare up caused by inflammation will turn to a phase 2 pain and hemorrhoidal flare up, because now that we occupy the one house, I got to sell the other house. No small feat. You know that as well as I do. But anyway, that's my story.
Yeah. So,
Master Apprentice told me that his big family gathering told him that he would have to eat in the garage because of no jab. You know what? I've heard a lot of families say that kind of shit. And I got to tell you, if my family ever said that to me, I
would
would
go.
I'd push the plate away and I'd get up and walk. I'd leave. They'd never hear from me again. Fuck you and your arrogance. Who the fuck do you think you? Yeah,
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
that's the way that would work.
Yeah, I don't want no
Yeah, all
jab
right.
infected food.
Fuck you. Don't call me. Don't contact my kids. Don't ever, ever get on my radar again, because I will crush you. Good luck and Godspeed.
Right.
Oh, and fuck you in the neck.
With a spike.
I just got nothing. That's just horse shit. Fucking
Yeah.
family trying to guilt motherfuckers into doing the shit. And they did the same thing to Apex. Man,
Yeah.
you know what? And that's kind of the thing. My family knows exactly how I would react to that.
Right.
And I guess that's the reason that they wouldn't. Yeah. I told them the same thing, Washburn.
It's Bill, that ghost. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. They're all going away, and I have loved ones too. But those that are going to go away, they'll go the way of memory.
Yep. I'd have said the same thing, Washburn. Come on over and have Thanksgiving with us. The dirty, the unwashed masses of non-vaxxing, not carrying that fucking virus for them.
I like the term pure blood.
Pure blood, I like that.
Yep, the pure bloods.
Those of us without that vile concoction shoved into our arms.
Yeah, that mess of chemical domination. Yep. I like my immune system just the way it is. Thank you very much. Yep. Yeah, there's a fourth one out now. I heard there's a fourth booster vaccine thing out there. I think they all should go get it before it's too late.
I think we should start having group and family Thanksgivings and uninviting those vax wearing or those vax having freaks now. I wouldn't
Right.
let them come to my house and spread that shit among me.
You know, there's a large portion of my family that was Jewish, and I consider them the ones that wear the star. You know what I'm saying? To be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Racist. No, Washburn, you're absolutely right. You hear about it. I've heard about a couple people. And yeah, that kind of shit just pisses me off. They're all fucking family thinks they know better. They know better than you. Yeah, you'll do it or we'll ostracize you. Well, you know what? Fuck you and your ostracization.
Right.
And you
Keep it.
know that
Ostriches.
all of this is part of their plan to, you know, the globalist agenda, break up the families.
Okay.
At least that's how I view it.
Liars and scumbags, number 2.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
But it's okay. It's okay to be normal.
Yeah.
It is. It's okay to be normal. It's okay to not carry that horrific horseshit around in your body. It's okay to want to be a pure blood, a free person. It's okay to want to be weird, to be a freak. Yeah,
Yep.
I would have went off the deep end, Washburn, but I have a reputation for doing that, so
Right.
it's kind of my thing. Hippies were right. Not sure what you mean. I just hit a link. StreamYards, maybe. Okay. NC Girl's back with us. Amen. Hey, girl, how are you? Good to see you again.
Hey, what's up, Bill?
Yeah. Cute little puppy.
Big bad itchy finger. What's up, brother?
Little, cute, big ass puppy.
Yeah, tiny
Got a
little
little-
puppy pup. Yeah.
He's got a face like a lamb.
I know, he still looks like a puppy, only he's supersized. Oh my lord. And Ranger's still getting bigger.
So I have a question for Dawn.
I got an answer for you. Let's see if they match.
What is Hassenpfeffer?
Rabbit.
Isn't that German for rabbit?
I don't know.
It's a rabbit dish from Germany. I'm not exactly sure what all it entails.
It's kind of like a tomato-based stew kind of thing.
With bunny rabbit?
With rabbit, yeah. They call it hare,
Oh, okay.
yeah. But yeah.
Well, a bunch of savages up in this joint eat rabbit, so I don't know. It's too cute for me to eat, if you ask me. I'd name it before I could. I'd name it before I could kill it. I just wouldn't be able to do that. But that's me.
Well, I only name the mamas and the daddies. I don't name the babies. Except for
Okay.
come here,
Nugget, or yeah,
Schnitzel.
double breast, or back ribs, or something like that.
Yeah, that's come here, backstrap. Yeah. Drumsticks. What's up, drumsticks?
We used to give our puppies like temporary names like Eeny, Meeny, Miny, and Mo.
Right.
Yeah.
NC girl, did you put something other than duct tape on that shit last night? I swear I thought I was going to die when I heard you had duct tape on that. Did you get that looked at? NC girl?
Yeah, see, now that we're up here and we can see in the comment section from on screen, you can see all the chats all in one deal.
Right.
So there's one of the benefits of coming up here on screen.
You are absolutely right. I see that as a benefit of coming up on screen, is that I can see all the comments.
Yeah.
I can
From all
speak
the
to them,
channels.
but I have to go back to the individual tab, like the Twitch tab or the YouTube tab, to comment in text, but I can talk to them. So
And
Right.
see, from down there, they can't even look at the private chat unless they're on screen.
Right, unless they're in StreamYard, yeah.
oh wow, F-35 in the drink.
Yep.
See, why you do this to me? Why you do this to me, Canoes? You get me. I get up here, start talking to people about cool stuff, and then you lean in with those military. You throw all those military links up there with interesting shit, and all of a sudden I get distracted. You won't talk to me. You just throw the shit up. Won't make any comment. So I get
Well,
all
fuck you.
interested and say some shit about, oh yeah, well fuck you too. But why do you do this to me? Come on. Now I want to talk about F-35s falling off the carrier.
You know, that's a big problem. F-35, isn't it like, what is it, like $2 billion a plane or something?
Yep.
Yeah, they ain't cheap. They ain't cheap.
So if it's one of the British carriers, is it a non-catapult carrier?
The Queen Elizabeth is
most
not a
likely.
non-catapult. No, it's a
Okay.
ramp carrier, but they also have a catapult. They have a cat on the ankle.
Hello.
What's
Yeah,
up,
man.
baby?
Welcome.
What hippie? What's happening?
Nothing. Thought maybe I'd get in a little conversation. I was kind of hoping we'd have a Rittenhouse verdict to talk about tonight, but
Wouldn't that be nice?
be great for us, be bad for everybody up there.
Well, let's get your 30-second executive overview on the Rittenhouse situation. How about
I don't
that?
need 30 seconds. We would let the National Guard in to begin with. We wouldn't be having this conversation today.
You're absolutely right.
They put
You're
everybody in a
absolutely right.
situation that was going to fail. The rioters are going to fail. The guys like Rittenhouse are going to fail. I think that's what the design from the very beginning, and it worked perfectly. It did everything they could do to divide the people involved, and that's just tragic for everyone.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. So
Now, I'm not losing any sleep that pedophile got shot. Don't get me wrong.
yeah,
I'm not losing any sleep over that. But, just the same.
Right. It's even got the black people saying, why the fuck is BLM up there?
Well, I think they're going to throw it out anyway because they have that whole deal with they just basically just never gave them the right file. They gave them a bad resolution.
low res video.
Low res.
Yep.
I mean, and what are you going to do with that? Nothing. I mean, that is blatantly going out of your way. That's a Brady violation in itself. So we'll see. I'm worried about the jurors, and I worry about the precedent it's going to set because if anybody can, if a jury can be intimidated, then our democracy is done. The republic is over.
Yep.
The thing
You're
in
right.
democracy, if you look at the historian and the scholars, when you go back and read the books, oftentimes they talk about democracy being one man, one vote, that direct democracy. But really, what makes a true democracy is when they started doing paid jurors. And that is really the basis of our system as far as jurisprudence. And when you take that away from that aspect of it, then we're done. We're doomed. Sorry.
Absolutely.
I didn't come on here to be here, guys.
Judgment by one's peer is the root of the U.S. justice system.
Exactly.
We went through a lot of this jury intimidation crap during when they were arresting a lot of mafia guys. The mafia guys would find jury members and threaten their lives and their children and all kinds of stuff. And Well, threatening a jury is something that a member of a jury, or overt threatening, like these protests, it's jury intimidation, and it's a high crime. It's real serious, and they need to really crack the whip. I mean, hard.
Well, then how do you do that? Listen, the jury, the two, as I understand it, there's 12 people, 10 of which are saying, yep, throw the whole thing out. He's innocent of everything. And 2 of them are saying, we agree he's innocent, but we're worried about what our community and the people out in front of this fucking thing are going to do to us if we vote him innocent. That's what they're saying. So how do you go over and enforce voter or jury intimidation laws against a group of people, or not even a group of people, but a perceived group of people, for lack of a better term? And I'll shut up now.
Right. Well, that's the thing.
Good question.
Actually,
I'm the power through guy. I'm the guy that says, fuck the mob, fuck what the media says, vote your conscience, and we'll give you jobs when it's all said and done, and we'll take care of you and we'll protect you.
Yep.
That's me. But I know that I'm in the minority there.
Well, imagine the intimidation the jury had, and I'm sure it happened. I don't know for sure, but I'm sure it happened when Al Capone went to prison.
Oh, well, are these guys sequestered? I never could find if they were even sequestered. They had have to be. I mean, that was what happened with the George Floyd trial, was they weren't even sequestered. They had to walk out the door in front of everybody.
They are not sequestered. No, sir.
So yeah, they're basically just, this part, they really are targeted citizens.
Yep, you're right.
I mean, and it's interesting because I don't understand. I do understand, and I don't want to delve into it. I don't want to try to get too deep, but I'm frustrated with Donald Trump's. I don't think that much encouragement on January 6th, and then we have Representative Maxine Waters, who flew from California to Minnesota out of her district to basically threaten
to be part of an agenda.
To tell people to incite violence. Yes. To incite violence.
Fine. If Donald Trump incited violence, get him. And they should get her. And vice versa. And that's where my whole trouble lies, is this. How does a guy who's just trying to walk straight and narrow,
double standard, the hypocrisy, the double standard? Oh, how dare you be offended by the double standard and the hypocrisy coming from the left?
Right.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
I'm going to be offended by everything, but how dare you be offended by anything?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, brother, you're on the right channel.
Yeah, you're in the right place, brother. But we're all like, you know what? Fuck you in the neck, or no, not all of us, just me.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
We're gonna do our thing, and we're gonna move forward.
Yeah, well, you guys are in the right neck of the woods. I was telling Apex last night. The reason why I zoomed in was because I saw the Osmo, and I'm from Osmo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Miller County.
I'm up in Sullivan.
Okay.
Yeah, Washington County.
Okay.
Yep. Around the northern edge.
Christian County and Booger County and all those down south. That's me. That's
right near Marshall. Yeah.
I work. As a matter of fact, I worked on the Bagnell Dam Strip growing up.
Well, did you feel that earthquake that Wiz got tonight?
Yeah, so yes, small neck of the woods. You guys have my accent. I feel comfortable.
Did you feel that earthquake just a little bit ago?
Did not. We had one.
Oh yeah, I felt it pretty good here.
Oh wow, I didn't get it. But,
we had a 3.7 hit about. What'd you say? About 50 miles south of me.
I was out by Poplar Bluff.
Poplar Bluff.
About 100 miles south of me, actually.
Yeah, that's great country up there. I lived in Imperial for a while.
Yeah.
Down 55, down the KKK highway. That Missouri took all the way to the Supreme Court just to find out that they can have a highway. They're not for profit.
Oh shit!
That's 55
no, I don't.
Out of St. Louis. and they renamed it
wow.
Rosa Parks Highway, and then the Klan refused to clean up after it, and they took it off. Crazy story. Only in Missouri.
Yeah. Who knows, man? But yeah, no shit. It's all upside down and backwards right now. You know.
Well, I heard you mention they're talking about the jab. Why would I wear, if I had a 99.9% chance I wasn't going to poop my pants, I wouldn't wear a diaper. I wouldn't do it. And what's even crazier is if there was a 99.7% chance that I wouldn't get it, why would I wear a diaper to protect you from shitting myself? And that's the same thing they're doing with us.
With that mask and all that shit, yeah.
It's just control. It's just social control. The freedom you give up, you never get back.
Nope. And you can't unjab yourself.
You can't. And now what are we up to now? Four boosters, they're saying.
There's a fourth one out there.
Now they can't even tell the difference between adult doses and children's doses, I read.
Right. And they put that heart medicine in there.
Right.
And the child ones, so the kids don't have heart attacks all over the place. Yeah.
You really can't make this up. You can't write this.
No.
And they're pushing it at age 5.
So anything with the schools. And the reason they're going 5 to like that is because the schools are going to take possession of the kids. I mean,
and here you thought 1984 was going to be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. They got possession of the kids during the day is what I meant. So they can, kids, what are the kids going to refuse? No, the kids are just going to get in line.
And this is a problem with having the federal government involved in the education system. Because if the federal government had their hands off education like the Constitution says, then Missouri would have our own options, and I would feel comfortable living in Missouri and to direct our own path. But when you deal with the federal government, they're going to hold that money back, and money's the whole deal. That's the leverage. Same with the interstate system. We're going to build interstates, but you're going to do exactly what we say with them, or you get to pay for them.
Yeah. A lot of my grandkids are homeschooled. I'd say mostly the ones that are in school are being homeschooled. So I'm grateful about that. So I don't know. We got a little bit more hell to go through before we get through it. Before we get through this, I still hold tight to the prophecies. I don't know if it's foolish, it's foolish, but I am. Just call me fool.
Which ones are you referencing?
Kim Clement.
Okay.
The Kim Clement prophecies. Are you familiar with that?
I am not. Please educate me.
Trey Smith on YouTube has one called Two Presidents. He goes over the prophecies from Kim Clement, and he points out Kim Clement gave a prophecy saying that Trump would be back in power by the end of fall.
Okay.
And that's what I'm holding tight for.
Okay.
Yeah. And Kim Clement predicted Trump being president back in 2014.
Wow. Okay.
In 2011.
The main thing is Kim Clement hasn't been wrong on anything that he prophesied so far.
True.
Anything.
Not a single thing.
If he was wrong on one thing, I would say I'm not going to listen to it.
But he's been right on everything so far.
All right. We'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
And he made a lot of prophecies. He made a lot of prophecies that were spoken, and then they came. A lot of them. I mean, so many of them. You know, if he talking false, instant, everybody would know about it and wouldn't listen to him.
Okay. Were these biblical prophecies, or are they just visions, or?
Well, they line up with the Bible. They line up with it, but they're just things that he said that God was speaking through him.
That's what I was at. Yeah, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Bill's right. There's not a single thing he's been even wrong on.
And the naysayers picked him apart, and they couldn't find anything. I mean, it was just like they just left him alone because they couldn't find anything. Naysayers from everywhere, Jewish, all kinds of people, you know, that are like students of prophecy and everything. They picked him apart up one end and down the other and couldn't find anything on him. So I don't know. You know, this is one I got to agree with Wiz. I'm gonna, I'll stand with him on that because I'm expecting Trump to be back in.
By Christmas.
By the end of fall.
Before Christmas. So I'm just that's primary in my prayers. You know, just what do I need to do, Lord? Show me. Do it.
No, prophecy just needs to line up with the word of God. That's all. Which is scripture. The word of God is scripture.
But yeah, that's everything is so frustrating because it's so blatantly wrong. You know, that's what got me. Is that all this stuff is just? I mean, it's not just incorrect or, you know, it's just blatantly wrong. Forcing people to take vaccines, the kids, the innocent.
The abominations that are happening are so extreme that people don't even, their rational mind can't even conceive it.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have on video, this guy points a gun at Rittenhouse. The guy in Rittenhouse shoots him. Okay. You have a guy grabbing his gun. Rittenhouse shoots him. The guy hits him in the back of the head with a skateboard and is getting ready to hit him again, and Rittenhouse shoots him. This is all absolutely self-defense. Not even the weapons charge is valid. You know?
Yeah, it was cut and dry. Self-defense. Everybody can see it. Except for the left. Because they want him to lose so bad for whatever their reasons are. And most of it for gun-grabbing motives.
Well, Washburn, maybe you should go look at the Kim Clement prophecies as well. Seriously, go look at the Kim Clement because he calls Trump his David. So, yeah, go check it out, man. Go get some right thinking. Go check out Kim Clement's prophecies and you tell me.
I'll look it up. You said it was Trey
Smith.
Trey Smith.
In the bowl. Yep, Trey Smith. Trey.
Got it.
Yeah. There's one called Two Presidents.
Okay.
Nobody can stop the screaming goat.
I know, right? Brought to you by Sausage Gravy Business Farms. .com. Rangers, damn it. Chasing cars again. Kim Clement, Ke. I think it's, well, look at Trey Smith, Trey
Got it. Yeah,
Smith.
something about Sumerian stones. Yeah, this is right at my alley.
And he's got links to all of his prophecies. His daughter is picked up in to carry on the message. Not that she's making prophecies, but she's going over his prophecy and relaying those to everybody.
Cool.
Yeah, Trey.
All right, I've got it saved and everything. I'm good to go now.
Right. His channel is actually named God in a Nutshell kind of stuff. And he goes, Trey Smith has got his own, not prophecy, just goes over historic, goes over the old documents and everything from Nephilim to the Babylon histories and stuff like that. So. But I was gonna get high. I got high. Fuck yeah, fire in the bowl.
Is it that time of night?
Oh yeah, fire. You know that's the only thing I got.
It's pretty much every half hour.
Yeah.
Right. When in Rome.
Yeah. Well. Hey, brother. I love Missouri.
I love Missouri too. Is that strawberry cough?
No, this is OMG.
Ah.
No, I'm smoking strawberry cough over here in Ohio.
Right.
That's popular out here.
I also got MK Ultra and grapefruit Gorilla Glue.
Those are Mendos, aren't they? Mendocino? 420 seeds?
Yeah. Well, I don't know Mendocino. I get them from Sausage Gravy Biscuit Farms.
Okay.
If that's what you mean. Yeah. .com.
Got it.
Right. I tell you what. Yeah, he's got. You go there and check it out. He's got everything you need to grow. You know, stuff like that, seeds, everything, and it guarantees everything too. So.
Good. I've got a little 4x4 set up.
Yeah.
Thanks to the people in Jeff City that made it legal for me to grow a little plant here and there.
Right.
So I gotta love the fact they opened up the door. I knew it was going to happen as soon as Anheuser-Busch sold. As soon as Anheuser-Busch sold out, I knew it was done deal.
Right, because they were the ones lobbying against it. Yeah.
They don't give a shit. The money's going overseas now. They don't care. They're all rich and retired forever. So, you know, then Boulevard Brewery in Kansas City sold out, which is number 2, sold out to them immediately thereafter. I'm like, yeah, they know something we don't.
Right. Well, I'm familiar with 6 vegetative and 6 flowering. So
666, isn't it? 6 flowers, 6 veg, 6 seeds, 6 germinating.
I believe so.
I think it's 6, 6, and 6. The problem is, though, there's a fine line between the two. If you get, you know, I mean, really, I mean, hell. But I understand.
As long as you ain't stepping on like a field.
Yeah.
I think you're okay. Because one of my neighbors we got a problem with actually thought they were going to have the cops come here and harass us. And I was like, nope, that's what I got. And he's like, well, okay, whatever. Have a nice day.
Yeah, they don't bother you anymore.
No.
They really don't. I mean, I live up north now in the city, and they haven't cared forever up here. I mean, it's not even a priority for them. They got real problems to deal with.
Right.
You know.
But you go up to Columbia?
No, I live up in one of the 2 big cities now.
Oh, St. Louis.
Other one. Kansas City.
Kansas City? Oh, okay. So you're over by Liberty.
Real close. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
As a matter of fact, if I was in high school, I probably could have thrown a baseball to Liberty from my back porch.
All right. I got a buddy over there. Used to be a judge.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a lifetime member of Max organization, the CSPOA.
Okay. No, what organization?
The CSPOA.
Don't know what that is.
Constitutional Sheriff's Peace Officers Organization. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Association. And all those channels have gone dark, dude. I'm actually a badge deputy for them.
Yeah.
And we get no communications anymore. Not even newsletters.
Wow.
Yeah. Something's up. Something's going big. You know, our Oath Keepers Association dismantled itself here too.
Wow.
Yep. They dismantled a month before J6. Yep.
Well, I know that the worlds are colliding. I mean, they're rounding up sex trafficking rings like crazy. They've got Maxwell's going to court again, trying to get out of her whole deal. So whenever rich people, when real rich people, not hillbilly rich, but real rich people who have real power and influence, those guys are getting scared, and that's not good for anybody. Because they're going to have a distraction.
Well, yeah. See, they're all getting ready to lose their shit.
Yeah, they are.
And yep. Yep. They know their time is short. That's why they're doing all this. You know, that's why they're doing it, because they know their time is short. These agenda items weren't supposed to happen for another 3 or 4 years. Most of them.
Well, we had Agenda 21,
right?
And I think that, and then they even talked about Agenda 31 because they didn't think they could get it done. They started testing the waters on pushing that date back a little bit, if you remember, about a year ago. And
it changed from Agenda 21 to 2030 after Trump got it off.
It went to Trump, and then as soon as Biden, right before the election, for some reason they started pushing 21 again. Then Biden wins, whatever, and now they are right back on track and ahead of where they were. And the reason why is because he may not be there, like you said, in January or next election. That may be it. So you got to expedite all this, and that's why you're seeing this massive onslaught right now. I mean, I think this is all or nothing for the Democratic Party.
It is,
or the liberal side. I shouldn't classify. I was a Clinton Democrat, but
yeah. Well, right. I know. I hear you. I forgive you, but but yeah,
you're all young,
right? Young. I'm 55,
and I'm younger than you. Not much though,
right? But yeah,
my first election was Clinton. Put it that way. When I was 18.
Oh, right. My first election was second term of Ronald Reagan. Yep.
I was born under Nixon. He was in office for about 30 days, and then I got Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, on up.
Yeah. I voted for Ross Perot until Ron Paul hit the scene, and then I was voting for Ron Paul.
I didn't even believe in politics when I became old enough to vote. I just felt like there was no choice in who to vote for.
There really wasn't.
I mean, let's see, I turned 21 in 1981.
No, but the people that are going to get really eliminated from all the face of the earth is their followers, the Democrat followers, these brainless people that are just, do everything that the government God them to do. You know what I'm saying?
And Carter was president back then, and I really was so disgusted with that clown. It took us a long time to climb out of the hole he dug us in. And we never really totally climbed out of the hole. A lot of things, it's like one step forward, two steps back, They do so much damage.
Well, Reagan did get us a couple steps further than that.
Yeah, but
once I shot him, he was useless.
He didn't get us 2 steps forward. He got 1 step forward.
You talking about Reagan?
Reagan, yeah.
Reagan had the highest, had one of the largest peacetime economic growths in American history.
Yep.
People they called it voodoo, but it worked. I like to refer to it as supply side economics.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
The Democrats have proven over and over and over again since time immemorial that they are incapable of understanding economics.
No, they understand economics, but they're following Keynesian economics.
Yeah,
rather than Austrian. Yeah, Austrian economics.
Keynesian economics only works if you only time severe deficit spending works is in the event of a major crisis, and the only thing that gets you out of that theory of economic principle is war. Hoover didn't have it, so he didn't have the luxury of it. He went down as a failed president. However, FDR fully, after it was developed, I believe in London at that time period under Hoover, FDR, I think, put it into play based on what Hitler did, which was also Keynesian theory, and rebuilt both of them that both ended in war. And that's exactly where we're heading now. We are deficit spending at a rate that only war will get us out of it.
I don't think wars will get us out of a deficit.
Well,
it does. It puts everybody to work and gets their mind off everything else.
Yep.
We had civil strife and all those issues going into World War II, but guess what? America comes together. 9/11. America comes together. We coalesce. So we go into hell. It all breaks loose. The powers that be manipulate the system, and then whenever it starts to get squirrely, we need a unifying event, and that unifying event brings us all together. It's all forgotten about, and they take more power in the long run.
But they're out of tricks.
Rinse and repeat, baby. Rinse and repeat.
The only trick they got left is I think they're going to try and pull is a UFO thing. Because it won't, what that will work here won't work over there. Okay? And what won't work over there, or what works over there, won't work here.
Right.
And the difference is we got our guns.
For now.
Oh, no. They won't get them. They won't get them.
No, they'll never get them.
They'll never get them.
You're right. I understand your point of view. I'm reading between the lines. I get it.
Right,
what I'm saying is, though, that a guy should not have to be an outlaw to be a citizen.
Correct.
But that's the way it's going to be. I don't think they'll outlaw guns. I think they will make bullets so hard that unless you can make your own bullets, you're going to be either a very rich person or very much out of bullets, because that's where they get you. Just like gas.
Yeah. They got a law that's trying to be passed right now down in Florida that's sponsored by one of the dads of one of the kids that was killed at the Parkland High School shooting a few years back. And they want to tax ammunition sales in Florida, and they want to do complete background checks on every ammunition sale, just like they did in California a couple of years ago.
Over a certain amount of ammo.
That I don't see that flying in Florida though.
Nah.
No.
Not until DeSantis is gone.
Yeah, that's not going to happen in Florida as long as DeSantis is there. And his popular support is what, 80% now?
Yeah.
And he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, he's actually almost equal happiness with the Democrats as well as the Republicans. He could end up, unless something goes bad on him, he could end up in the White House.
No, he ain't going nowhere. He's going to stay right there in Florida. Trump's going to be back in power. You'll see. I'm a true believer.
Okay.
I really am. I mean, I'm just saying.
No, I don't mean any disrespect to it, man.
No disrespect. No, I'm not degrading anything you're saying. I'm just trying to say.
Yeah, and when that happens, I hope General Flynn is the vice president.
Yeah, that would be the shit right there, dude. The guy with the vacuum cleaner right there. Yes, there's some filth over there. There's some trash over there.
This talk against the that's against the well, you know, there's a lot of people, including libertarians and Republicans, that have heard, and they're in line with this. They want to see the downsizing of the military-industrial complex, and I think that's a bad mistake for a lot of reasons.
Well, like I said, once Trump gets back in, this all gets reversed again. It won't take long. It won't take long. You're fired. 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 Your whole agency's gone. You guys, you're all going to jail. The Patriot trials are coming.
And since he was duly elected, when he does get back in, I think he deserves 2 more terms.
Yep.
And if he doesn't do 2 more terms, he should have somebody that will fill in for him for his for his 3rd term. And I think he should get a 3rd term because he was deprived of his 1st term with the witch hunt crap.
Yeah.
And and all the obstructionism that was permitted to go on, that he should get a full 2 more terms, because the witch hunt was proven it was a fake. I'll shut my mouth.
No, you're right.
No, you're right. I don't know. I don't know if we need to go 3 terms. I figure Tucker Carlson will be there by then. So,
well, get this. Get this.
We
Here's
don't need
theory.
a media person in office.
No.
But get this. Here's one theory of how his terms may play out. They are attempting to crash the government, and they may have already tipped the point to where this government is no longer functionable, which is okay. Believe it or not, it's okay, because guess what? This is a de facto government created by the Reconstruction Act of 1871. This is a corporate entity. It is not our original government, and it hasn't been since 1871. The original de jure government was abandoned in 1860. They never even convened to close it down. And there are patriots out there who have done the legwork to recapture the de jure government of the United States. And all we need is an election. All we need is one election, and to seat the people. And it's looking like 2022 would be a full-blown election.
I do not want to see Chuck Grassley in office. No, thank you.
Grassley and Graham and his Turtlehead,
McConnell, fuck all them guys. Did you see how Trump went off on McConnell the other day?
They're grabbing ass with the likes of Romney and all that other anti-Trump shit.
All them rhinos.
Because all they are is Democrats with an R in front of their name. And they're all guilty of the same crimes. they're all guilty of the same bullshit. They're all part of the same fucking club.
It's
They're
a
all
it's a
gonna face
small
the same
club,
fate.
and you ain't in it.
Right. Right. But they're all gonna face the same fate.
It's a very exclusive club, and you ain't in it.
Thank goodness I'm not.
And I ain't in it. None of us is in it.
I wouldn't want to be in any club that would let me be a member.
Right? That's another John Carlin. Right. Oh, and nothing to do with any club that would have me as a member.
That's right.
Oh, good Lord. Hands off. But yeah, there are some good things coming.
You know, I haven't heard anything from Mike Lindell lately. He's been real quiet.
He's Frank's speech. I've been watching the news. He's been talking.
He's around.
I can't even get into Frank's speech.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for some reason. Don't you have to pay to get in there?
No. No, you don't have to pay. I'm not on the chat stuff. I just watch the news. They got a news channel and a TV channel, and
I tried to get in there a while back, and I couldn't get into it. It's kind of like Parlor. I was in Parlor for a while, quite a while actually, and it went down, and I could never get back into Parlor.
Didn't Parlor go belly up?
I believe it was who the hell, what's his name again? That bought Parlor.
the same people as Rumble, right?
Italian guy. What's his name?
Bongino?
Bongino. Yeah, he bought Parlor. He bought Parlor.
Shareholder. He doesn't own it outright.
Yeah, but he was going to straighten out a lot of stuff, and I could never get back in it. Ever since he
Well,
got.
maybe you should try again, because I think all that stuff's gotten fixed or something.
I don't know.
As far as the Frank speech, yeah, I know you can get in there. I go on there and check out the news on there. He doesn't do stuff every day, but they do have the Silk and Diamond and Silk show on there.
Yeah, it was. You know what was so nice about Parlor is you could build up a following really fast if you wanted to.
Yeah. You could.
And unlike Twitch, and you'd say something, and I mean, a lot of people don't really respond, but they read what you post. You know, and it's not censored. So, yeah, I was totally shadow banned on Twitter.
And Washburn, yeah, food and water. I'm with you on that. And I'm talking about production, not just storage. But as far as the bullets go, it goes silver, gold, brass, and lead. Those are the precious metals you need to stock up on.
And copper.
Copper too, right?
Yep. You do a lot with copper.
But what about my Bitcoin?
I had 33,000 followers. I had 33,000 followers on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and none of my tweets would nobody ever could see them because they were blocking it. I'd probably get 2 or 3 people out of 33,000 people. 2 or 3 people would ever see my tweets.
What were you saying, hippie? Bitcoin?
Oh, I said that Bitcoin's not gonna be worth much then, is it? Whenever all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's gonna
all that much.
My gold certificates will be worth something though, won't they? Joking.
Maybe if you had a time machine.
Yeah.
I want gold in my pocket if I have gold or silver.
I'm sure there will be a short period of time when the new money systems come online, and we're talking about a United States Treasury fund money based on precious metals. There might be a time to where you can redeem dollars for the new dollars. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, and I understand you don't like the fiat currency, and I know that everyone's wanting to go back to the gold standard versus silver standard, and we can talk about that and the populist movement. But at the end of the day, we don't have the reserves. I am fully convinced that Fort Knox is about as empty as my bank account when it comes to gold.
That's not where they keep it. They don't keep it at Fort Knox anymore.
Well, we took Germany's gold was in the bottom of the World Trade Center when it went down, and I don't know and I never heard any more about it after that.
Right.
So we may have 40 billion from Germany that got melted, quote unquote, melted, but
yeah, you don't think that wasn't recovered?
Fort Knox is empty.
I don't know.
Well, we haven't done we're supposed to do.
You'll never be able to find out. That's kind of the point.
Not until
they're supposed to do a deal every really 10 years.
Well, that was all disrupted in '71 when they took us off the gold standard. So
it's probably up there in Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado.
Some shit like that, yeah.
Well, I had heard rumors that they had spread the majority of it around the country into different Federal Reserve, bank vaults. Like they were saying, they had, because we got Federal Reserve here in Cleveland, and someone did a FOIA request years ago to get the city's blueprints of the building to see what was underneath the building as far as underground storage, and they denied the request. Hey Miriam, how you doing?
I know where the Federal Reserve building is here too.
Oh, Miriam, she came in to say goodnight.
Hi Miriam.
What's up, Miriam? Dream well, Patriot.
She said it's raining bad over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I told her I hope that she didn't float away or something.
Right?
That means that tarantula on her porch is going to be in the tent with her.
Yeah. Well, she is in the rainforest in Central America.
Well, Mexico.
Yucatan Peninsula.
That's Central America.
Central America, yeah.
I didn't realize she was that far south.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Still raining. Holy God. God bless you.
I don't
1 minute.
Did you get to go in the cabin, or you got to be in the tent, Marion?
Yeah, hang with us for 1 minute warning. We'll be smoking the bowl here in a minute. I'm taking extra hits because I need it. Trying to clear this bowl so I can reload it.
I hope your tent's holding the water out good.
Good deal. She says she's nice and dry.
Good. That's good.
Yeah. Oh, good Lord.
Someone in the chat said USPS is going into banking.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to be doing a cash checking service with some shit.
Yeah, they're testing it out at 4 locations on the East Coast.
Yep. What? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Hippie.
Nothing.
Okay. Well, they started out the program at 4 different locations on the East Coast without any kind of congressional approval or oversight. And there's a couple congressmen that are like going ape shit about it, you know, wanting to get it shut down because they basically says it's socialized banking.
I thought the USPS became its own individual corporation, and therefore they could do whatever they wanted to. And
Well, not if they're dealing with U.S. currency, they can't. That falls under, you know, procedure and process by the Treasury Department.
But they don't fall under other standards such as wearing masks or getting vaccines.
Oh, well.
Right.
I don't work for the post office. I just
I don't
occasionally do business there. But hey, it is that time.
Well, if they're no better at banking than they are getting my mail to me, we don't have to worry about it. They'll be out of business quick enough.
No,
You scared Prince.
Oh, sorry, Prince.
You scared Prince. Prince was like, what the hell is that? It's okay, folks. You're a dog type. Good boy. He's still just laying there right by me. He's just badass. So good, Prince Pookie. Prince Charming. Yeah.
Now, if you want to hear another story of same kind of bullshit going on, all right, the governor of Oklahoma recently said that Oklahoma, as a state, and the head of the Oklahoma National Guard, you know, the adjutant general that's in charge of the guard there, will not seek any charges against any Oklahoma Guard member that chooses not to take the vaccine. So the federal government is now fighting back, saying, "Oh, if you go ahead with this, we'll disband you as a guard, you know, formation, and you'll just become a militia."
Okay.
So
Right.
you're going to have a militia.
They get to keep
You'll
their
have
shit.
a militia with all the because all those guys are going to take their weapons and their equipment with them. You know, so you'll have like this amazing, the best militia in the land because they got fucking guns, they got artillery, they got tanks,
and a chip on their shoulder.
They got aircraft,
and a chip on the shoulder. You bet.
they got helicopters, they got F-16 fighters, they got refuelers.
They have an army, defense of the state. And they're allowed that in the Constitution. They shall provide for their own defense.
No different than the Texas State Militia.
Well, Texas State Militia is a little different.
It's a state sanction. It's called the Texas State Guard.
Yep.
And a lot of states have that.
Yep.
Yeah, we have the Ohio Military Reserve, which is state sanctioned and, you know, eligible for federal call up, but they're not armed.
I think they took Missouri's Guard away after the Civil War.
No, it's still there.
It's still there. It's because the state guard was doing all the fighting before the Civil War started in textbooks.
Right.
In fact, they have to keep it going.
We were fighting up here for a while.
Yeah. Well, we were neutral during the Civil War.
Ours got disbanded. Well, not disbanded. It's still there. The governor can still call people up. It's called the Utah State Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Texas has. They're not
here in Ohio.
They're just not active.
Go ahead, Bill.
I'm just saying they're just not active. All they got to do is one phone call, and it's on. You know, they activate everybody up until the age of 65.
Yeah, here in Ohio, the Ohio Military Reserve is along the same lines. They get together informally, like maybe 4, weekends a year to train, but they don't do anything unless they get an official call up. And that's like the Army equivalent. We also in Ohio have a naval equivalent at the state level. We have the Ohio Naval Militia, and they basically they have one unit down south that patrols the Ohio River, and basically they assist law enforcement mostly along the river. But on the shore Lake Erie, they have an operation that actually runs out of an army base on the lake, and they patrol the lake. And one adjacent to that base is a big firing line where they test munitions out over the water, and they patrol that area to keep the fishermen out and everything. And they're eligible for call up for emergencies and all kinds of shit. And same thing with our the Air Force equivalent, Civil Air Patrol.
Our deactivated military bases have been kept intact since the 1950s. They're being used for other things. But if the Utah State Guard becomes activated, they all go active, and any businesses in there have to, they'll cease doing business from those locations.
I'm not sure if that happens in Ohio, because I know we used to have an army base right outside of Columbus called Fort Hayes. That dated back to like, okay, I was there for a weekend back around 95, I think. And it still had all the Civil War era buildings on it, you know, red brick colonial style barracks and everything, and administration buildings. And those mostly got torn down, and the surviving buildings, I think like the city of Columbus uses it as a school bus depot, and they actually have a campus for one of their high schools out there. But there's still a small Ohio Guard presence there. I think it's a military police company.
And I'm thinking if the federal government wanted to withdraw funding for various state National Guards, if they withdrew funding, they would just switch to being their original state guards, because most states had a state guard at one time.
They're commanded to have one by the Constitution of the United States.
We had private military companies here in Ohio back before Civil War started. Right in downtown Cleveland, it was a private armory, and they called themselves the Cleveland Grays. And talk about one of the coolest historic buildings in downtown Cleveland. It's a true armory with parapet on the wall, and arrow slot holes in the outer walls and everything, sniper points, old cannon mounts on the roof. And they sent a lot of people, like when the Civil War started, before any of the federalized companies got called up. They were out there.
That's why we have so many arms manufacturers in my state too. And one of them that is still in operation, but it's owned by FM is Browning. Browning is here. There's a Browning Armory, like what you're talking about. They've got a museum, and they've also got National Guard there at the same place. Yeah, and you can see everything that John Browning ever made. Yeah, is that cool or what? I mean,
if I ever made it out there, that's like one place that I would like to visit. Then, for sure.
Oh, heck yeah! It's up in Ogden, Utah.
It's not as cool as the two you mentioned, but there is a neat gun place in Claremore, Oklahoma. It's a gun museum, and they've got a crazy collection of guns. Kind of cool. Not as cool as your guys', but it's still neat if you're ever in Claremore, Oklahoma.
I'll tell you where there's another really cool one. It's all Old West stuff. Is in Sparks, Nevada. There's a casino restaurant in there. It's got like John Wayne's signature pistols. It's got Patton's pistols. It's got all kinds of stuff. It's been there forever since I was a kid. I can't remember what the name of the Starlight Casino, I think, something like that. It's just outside of Reno.
Oh, okay, outside Reno. Yeah. But yeah, no shit.
That's a fun one to go see. I mean, if you ever, running across I-80, you can find that. It's all in big display cases and everything. Lever action rifles and real from the old West.
Right.
Now, I'd have to say the coolest place, if I could recommend one place to visit in the entire state of Ohio, if you ever make it out here, go to the Air Force Museum down by Dayton. It is by far the best museum I've ever been in, of any kind of museum anywhere in my life.
We've got an air museum up here in Clearfield, Utah, at Hill Air Force Base.
Well, this is the Air Force's National Museum.
Oh,
okay. The biggest collection. They've probably got a bigger collection than the Smithsonian does in DC.
Wow.
And there's another place up in the desert, up in the very northernmost part of Utah. That's a place where they do all the missile testing.
White Sands.
No, that's New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Yeah. No, this one, it's west of Promontory, Utah. You've heard of Promontory?
Yes.
Promontory Point?
There's a place called Promontory Point, yeah.
That's where the Great Railroad was connected.
That's where Roosevelt drove the Golden Spike.
Yep.
That's right. And he missed it. But it wasn't Roosevelt. It wasn't Roosevelt.
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was his director of economics or commerce or something.
It wasn't Franklin. I think it was Teddy.
Oh, yeah. That was 1850s or something like that. So, yeah.
Connected the east to
Transcontinental Railroad.
Yes, sir. Promontory Point, Utah. Look it up. It's pretty cool. But no, out in that area, if you go west of that, go further west, it's quite a ways. I was just driving along. I just discovered it, and it's just a big, like a missile museum kind of thing. And they've got things that have gone to the moon and everything there. And hardly anybody even knows about it. And I'll try to find the link for it and put it in probably tomorrow.
Cool.
Yeah. If I could remember to do it, I will try to do that tomorrow. So you could check it out and see what kind of stuff. It's like an aerospace thing. Anyway, there's these big missiles out in front. Not missiles, but rockets. Like space shuttle looking stuff and everything out there. I don't know a whole lot about it. I never really got into that. And it's creepy. It's creepy. If you start going somewhere where you're not supposed to go, you're going to definitely, I think they probably might even have some maybe top secret stuff, if not alien, if aliens exist, I don't know. But that's what's going on over there. And it's out in the middle of nowhere. See, because we were building the Hercules missiles here.
Yep.
And we also built the Patriot missiles here. We have guidance systems companies and everything here.
Yep. Which
is kind of on par because of the Air Force Base. And then Dugway Proving Grounds. So there's a lot of open federal land that they test things in. And it worked out real good for Afghanistan because our climate and our mountains are very similar to Afghanistan.
Yeah, that your state military like headquarters and main training area, I think is like on the other side of the highway, a little bit north of Hill Air Force Base. That place is huge, and I know a lot of people go out there to train for the Afghan, topography and everything.
Talking about not Tooele Army Depot, but Dugway.
No, I think it's Tooele. I'd have to look it
That's
up.
possible. That's possible. It's just another mountain range over.
Leland Stanford drove the Golden Spike.
Yeah.
He went on to found Stanford University.
Okay.
No,
What year does it say?
I'll tell you. Hold on just 1 second. Golden Spike. 1861.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah,
So that wouldn't have been Teddy.
no, it was Leland. Leland, the president
Well,
would have been
what administration?
1861 was Lincoln.
yeah, it was Lincoln.
Oh, okay.
That was his
Yeah.
He
first
was
year.
elected in 60.
Because we weren't even founded as a state until 1847.
Right. Missouri was 24, and then Kansas was what, 41, and that's what set it all off.
And my great-great-grandfather came here in 1850.
Oh, you're the new kid
Yeah.
on the block then.
Yeah. New kid, if you talking about the Native Americans.
Yeah, people after them too, but yeah.
Right.
Now, one cool thing about me personally with Lincoln, I've been to, I've seen his restored home that he was born in down in Kentucky. I saw in DC where he was shot. I saw in DC where he died across the street in a private home. And I went to, his monument on the mall. So I've kind of like followed him from birth to death almost. It's kind of weird.
Now, there's a connection between me and Wild Bill Hickok, which is kind of where the internet persona came from.
Oh,
Hickok's birthplace. You know where that was?
No, I don't.
What was the question?
Wild Bill Hickok's birthplace.
No clue.
New York, right?
Nope. Troy. It was in Troy, Illinois.
Okay.
And he was the one that was known for the dead man's hand. He was killed in a card game.
Dead man's hand.
Right. That's how it got the name of Dead Man's Hand. Yep.
There's a great series on called Deadwood. On
Yep.
HBO.
Deadwood, South Dakota.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you know what time it is, right?
Time for pie.
It's time for cake. You need to mix it up.
Time for. I don't have no damn cake.
Time for
Wait a minute, I do. I got cupcakes. I want pie.
Well, next month you're going to have to switch to Christmas cookies.
Right?
I think it's time for squirrel pie.
Squirrel pot pie. Oh, that would be so good. Diced up squirrel with some taters and onions and carrots.
Minced
Nice warm crust. Oh,
minced tree bacon pie.
yeah.
You've been so good. Get a treat. Yeah, he's been so good. Get a treat. He's so cute. He's been so good. He's just been sitting in the same spot this whole time. Yeah. He's got his chewy earring.
So the birthplace of Hickok is still owned by Hickok's descendants.
Nice.
Yep. It's a little cabin museum kind of thing. You go in there. I could never get by there when it was open, though. It was always closed every time I went there.
You do know it's squirrel season now. All the leaves are down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see the little buggers running across the road. My dog's going after them every day.
Mm-hmm.
I've been hearing from a lot of people that wild turkey populations are skyrocketing in my area. People coming and going to work. All these past 2 weeks have been saying that they've been having to stop at random places along the roads here because flocks of wild turkey are crossing the street.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be cool if we had more here. We do have them, but they just started introducing them. Not sure what year, but I've never seen them before until I went on the elk hunt 2 years ago.
Excuse me.
And they were really up high. I mean, they were almost to the timberline where the turkeys were.
Yep.
Yep.
They'll go
GYB.
wherever they can grouse for food.
Yep. Well, there's a lot of pinyon pine up there, so they're probably eating pinyon pine nuts and stuff.
Just so you know, if you've never had wild turkey before, it does not taste like commercial turkey. Completely different flavor.
Same
And
thing.
if you've ever worked in a turkey barn, you will never eat a domestic turkey ever.
Yeah.
And,
Oh yeah, it's nasty.
wild boar does not taste like typical pork either.
No, it doesn't.
They're tangy.
Yeah, it's got a tangy taste. It helps if you do the buttermilk marinade soak overnight. That draws out some of the gamey flavor.
I guess
Yeah, it's good though.
Welcome in, John Sua.
I'll probably figure it out when Dennis Espinosa invites me down there for a hog hunt. Down to Texas where he lives.
Well, do you guys have those javelina out there? Those little tiny pigs?
Javelina?
Javelina?
Not where I live.
Not here.
But AZ says he's got him down there where he lives.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
We might have them in the southern part of the state, maybe, because we've got a lot of cactus and Joshua trees, that kind of a climate, and that's probably where they'd be. We have a little bit of low-growing prickly pear cactus growing up here, and then out west getting toward Colorado on the same latitude that I am. There's a lot of very interesting cactus that you've never seen before. They're very rare. They're only known in that area. They're endangered, actually.
I used to kind of collect and grow cactus when I was a kid, teenager. We had a really nice nursery just down the road from us that a friend of mine from school, his family owned. And they had a super big cactus selection there, and yeah, I had dozens of cacti in my room growing up.
Dude, I'll eat the hell out of cactus. I eat cactus.
Oh yeah, the flesh. You know, you can the pads of a prickly pear cactus. You know, you grill them, eat the flesh on the inside, and the fruits. Oh, I love the fruit. And honey made from prickly pear pollen is delicious.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they grow even at a higher altitude than where I'm at, and I'm 4,500 feet.
I get a jar of prickly pear honey every year for Christmas. I have for like 10 years now.
Oh wow.
You'll find prickly pear up at the 7,000 foot elevation in the mountains. There's prickly pear up there too, and those are I had a friend gave me some that he had. He just cut the pads off and took them, brought them down, and stuck them in pots, and they just start growing. And he gave me some, and I put them in my yard, and they just, I mean, massive cactus patch in my yard. They wound up being like a weed, but they're a native Utah cactus. They were totally edible. And every time I'd get a tender pad on it, I would take it and I'd scorch the. I'd try to knock off all the needles I could at first,
Yep.
and then scorch it over my barbecue.
Yep.
Scorch little fine needles that you can't see, and use a pair of tongs. You don't want to hold it.
Yep.
Use a pair of tongs and just burn the hell out of it, and then sit down and start get out the potato peeler and start cutting. And it's good when you slice them in little slices, where it looks like string beans. It tastes just like string beans. I have cactus and eggs a lot.
Yeah, the few times that I've had it, yeah, it had kind of a bean flavor to it.
Yeah, it tastes like string beans.
The guy that I learned it from, he would, do the same steps that you were doing, but instead of making little strips of flesh, he was doing like patty shaped, probably like 3 or 4 inches in diameter. He would top hamburgers with it. It was delicious.
Sure. Tastes great.
What nutritional value does a cactus have?
It's got vitamin C in it, for one. But it's got a lot of nutrients in it, just like any vegetable would have.
You got any wild growing aloe out there?
No, that would be down. I'm actually looking at one of my aloe plants right now. My brother-in-law grew them down in Texas, down in the Rio Grande Valley. He managed a aloe vera plantation, and the company was called Forever Living Products. And they take the aloe and make lotions and stuff out of it. Face creams and things like that are, they even make hand sanitizer, tons, shampoos, everything. That company.
That's one of the key ingredients to Wizard's Magic Mud.
Yeah.
Aloe.
Yep. But
that's the main ingredient actually. That's the body of it, the gel that comes from it, and then it's just all ground up. And I use the whole branch, not just the internals, because all the nutrients and all the capabilities are just at the skin. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Well, he gave my mom and us some aloe plants. Sent them up here. They weren't potted or anything. They were he just sent them up here. He says, just stick them in the dirt. They'll grow in almost any kind of dirt. So it doesn't have to be like sandy or anything like that.
But it does need to be loamy. It does help if it's loamy soil.
I've had this one since then, and it's been close to 20 years. This plant's 20 years old. And my mom's is huge. She has it sitting by her front door and is 20 years old.
Oh wow.
Nice.
So you would have a never-ending supply of the medicine that an aloe would provide, just from one plant. Just taking care of it and giving it water every once in a while.
Very little water.
And mosquitoes hate aloe, by the way. Down there, that area, the Rio Grande Valley is a mosquito-infested hellhole. And you go out in the aloe plantation, not a single mosquito, fly, biting flies, nothing. They don't like aloe.
Right.
You see them always when they're working in the fields out there, when they'll have these big sun hats on and they'll have crap wrapped around them because of the mosquitoes. Not in the aloe plantations. Long sleeve shirts, it's like 125 degrees. And they're wearing long sleeve shirts and mosquito nets and all kinds of crap. But in the aloe plantation, nope. No mosquitoes there. That's a testimony to how valuable aloe is.
You taking off, Nightingale? Or is Washburn taking off?
I don't know.
I should be going.
Aaron's in the chat though. He's asking us to expunge him.
What do you want us to expunge? I'm not sure. No, we're not giving you a sponge bath.
Now, expungement is fairly easy, man. If you got something with your local courts you want to get expunged, especially if it's a misdemeanor, it's super easy now. Most states have made it real easy to get that done. You don't even need to hire a lawyer for it. You just got to call the clerk of court and they'll tell you the process who you got to talk to and the amount of money that it's going to cost. And here he comes. Are we ready for Aaron?
All right. Yeah, as soon as he gets his devices connected.
Yep. Nope, and he's gone.
Yeah, but no, I don't think we're going to see the long-term continuance of all of this evil. I have a feeling it's going to come to an abrupt end. I know one thing for a fact: we are living in grace. Okay, we're post grace already. So yeah, I don't think that evil gets finished its line of thinking. I think it cut short because if you remember, if they would have found one faithful in Sodom and Gomorrah, they would have saved the city. And there's plenty of faithful in this land.
God would have saved the city if there was one faithful.
Correct. And with the legions of faithful that are here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I do believe we're under grace.
I think this is a test to see if people would get out of that materialistic mindset,
Well, it says separate the wheat from the chaff.
Americans have become so materialistic. They're
not all of them.
No. Not all of them, but a lot, a very lot. We all sin and fall short.
Correct.
We're all sinners, every last one of us. And a lot of people have a lot of idols in their lives that they need to get rid of, and that's kind of bringing people to the end of themselves to get rid of their idols.
Right.
And they idolize everything. They idolize possessions. They idolize their house, their kids. They idolize the everything but God.
Right. Most of it falls underneath the spell of money.
American Idol, Dancing with the Stars, all that stuff. It's all idolatry.
Yep.
And and idolizing great boxers and wrestlers and Hulk Hogan, whatever.
Yeah.
And we get, the sooner we figure that out and stop idolizing these clowns that don't mean any good for us. They're all about, self-serving whims of their own,
They're all in it for the money.
That's why there's a 99% of the people trying to divide up 1% of the wealth. See, we got 1% of the wealth, us 99%, and the 1% on the other side has got 99% of the wealth for themselves. And we have to divide up that little meager 1% among us. And that's why, everybody's not living in mansions, and why everybody's not got their own businesses, and businesses don't seem to succeed, and all these philanthropy organizations are going by the wayside.
So,
Hey.
Hello. Mute, Vaughn.
Yeah, I know.
So you're not proposing that we redistribute that wealth, do you? I mean, are you proposing redistribution?
I hope not.
No. No, it will. One will gather his own.
Okay.
Yeah, one will gather his own value.
Vaughn, you're muted.
Yes, I'm supposed to be muted. I did that on purpose. I didn't want to interrupt the conversation.
Hello there, Lightwalker.
Okay. The 3,000-pound elephant in the room is to getting back in 2022 and 2024, and I just left a message to Marjorie Taylor Greene about this very subject. How are we going to get around the Dominion machines, guys? Okay, we just watched what happened to Youngkin. Youngkin swept across the state of Jersey. Nobody denies it. Even Democrats voted for Youngkin. All right, and then at 3 o'clock in the morning, magically they get 30,000 votes, just enough votes to give it to the Democrat, and Youngkin's left out in the snow with nothing, right? And
I don't think that is that what is that what's going on.
Yeah, Google it.
I thought that Jersey. I thought no, Youngkin got the office, didn't he?
Dude, Youngkin is the new governor of Virginia.
Youngkin is the governor.
You want?
No. I thought the Democrats.
That was Jersey.
Yeah.
Jersey.
Okay, well, which
You're
one
thinking
was
New
it?
Jersey.
Okay, hold on. Which one was it then where the Democrats found 30,000 votes in the dark of night at 3 in the morning? That wasn't
New Jersey.
Well, I mean,
No,
you
that
can pretty
wasn't
much pick another state, but that's happened
Youngkin.
hundreds of times. But
Yeah.
Okay,
but
it wasn't
Youngkin is the new
it was
governor
somebody
of
else,
Virginia.
okay. Oh, okay. Well, I know one of it. Well, I know one.
It was
of the,
New
one of the
Jersey.
races.
The truck driver. It was New Jersey.
Oh, it was New Jersey. Okay.
Yeah, New Jersey had that happen.
Yeah.
Now a lot of the states are shutting down the machines stuff,
Oh, really?
and they're voting in voter IDs. That's done in Georgia. That's happening.
I would love to see voter ID. I would love.
There's a lot of the states that are coming up with voter ID, and they're talking about.
I would love to see voter ID. I don't know. I would love to see it, but I know the Democrats are fighting it. I know that.
Well, that's being passed into law in places like Georgia, Texas. There's 18 states that have changed their voting laws to voter ID.
Oh, cool.
Good things are happening, brother. It's not being broadcast. You're not seeing. See, what happens is you see, and the reports are all about the fluster and bluster. They want the new shiny object, so they got all these distractions out here distracting you.
Oh yeah,
and they're not telling you They're not going to tell you their losses, and they consider our wins their losses.
Oh, I know. Youngkins totally swept the state he was in. There's no doubt about that.
I'm sure they tried, but
I'm sure
Virginia had
The only
changed
major
their
holdout was Fairfax County.
right.
Well, you know,
That was
you
the
know
game
when
changer.
you get even the most liberal leftist out there, it's probably a double entendre, but whatever. You know, when you get the most far left person out there, where that even they are saying, "Hey, this sucks. We got to do something." You know, then you've got something right there. You know, and I know there was a whole ton of Democrats voted for Youngkin. I know there was, because there was I did get those reports. But I know the Democrats trying their little shifty act of, hey, we got all this crap at 3 a.m. So you know what I done? I went to UPS's website, I went to FedEx's website, and I went to the USPS website, and I'm like, hey man, do y'all make deliveries at 3 a.m? And they're like, no. I said, what about FedEx? No, we don't make deliveries at 3 a.m. USPS, no, we don't make deliveries at 3 a.m. UPS, hey, we make them from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Period. I said, you don't make no deliveries at 3 a.m. Except for maybe a distributor hub or something. That's right. We make no deliveries at no 3 a.m. You know, we might stop at a distribution hub, but we're not gonna make no deliveries. Our deliveries are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and all three of them said the same thing. They all said the same thing.
They receive all night long, but they only deliver in the day.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's this. There are good things happening, and there are good. There are good. There's good stories out there, just like the Fifth Circuit shot down Biden's mandate.
Yes, the mandate for government workers. Yeah, I was watching
And
that.
the Supreme Court is going to do some wonderful things for us in the Second Amendment. They really are.
Yep, you're going to see that too.
I hope so. I've been praying really, really hard.
Well, if you're a God-fearing man, you might want to check out. You might want to check. You might want to check out. We were talking earlier about the Kim Clement prophecies.
Right.
I don't know if you know who Kim Clement is.
Yeah, I know about him.
Okay, now
I'm not a Christian, but I know about him.
Okay, well, you don't have to be. You know, that's about,
as long as you believe in the creators, right? I got it.
Yeah, you got it right,
and I do. And I've been beseeching them constantly. I said, listen, man, this is the only America we got, and it's going down the tubes fast. And
it appears to be going down the tubes fast, right, because those that have the levers of power think they're doing.
They want you to think
things.
It's going down the tubes fast, thereby causing drama, thereby causing you stress and pain in your day-to-day functions.
Right.
So,
but once you get into the underbelly,
feeds on itself.
Once you get under the skin of this thing, and you realize they're just a bunch of blustering noise on a speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there's really not much else going on in that, because everything they're talking about, everything they're doing, it's all a lie.
Well,
all lies.
There's no basis. There's no basis in the founding fathers or the Constitution for anything that they've been doing lately.
Correct.
They're absolutely.
They need to get rid of the Constitution in order to do what they're going to do, and they plan to collapse the government in an effort to do that.
Well, what they're doing, here's what they're doing for the young folks. They're telling all the young folks, oh, it's a living document. The hell it is. It ain't no living document. It's set in stone. Okay?
Well,
you will do this, you will do that. You don't do this, you don't do that. It's not no living document.
It's not.
And you know what my theory is about the young people in this country? When's the last time you saw a teenager do what he's told?
It's
20 years ago.
As somebody with a little bit of age on them, I can absolutely attest to this as fact. Okay, I'm not getting this from a conspiracy website or somebody's opinion. I lived this. I saw it with my own two eyes. I saw my school books say one thing in 1981, and then say something totally different in 1982. I saw this with my own eyes. It's not a conspiracy web. I didn't get this from some conspiracy website. I didn't make it up. I didn't pull it out of my rear end. I
Right.
saw this with my own
I've seen-
eyes. Where my
I saw the same
school
thing when
book,
I was in high school.
I saw it go from one thing to something totally different. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what in the world? So I went to a library and I did some research. Hey, who's behind all these school books? Who's in control?
Oh yeah.
And what I found is it's this group called the American Historical Society.
Society. Yep.
Okay, so I did some research on them. Guess what I found, guys? They all Skull and Bones members. Almost all of them. Especially the hierarchy. The hierarchy for sure. All Skull and Bones members. And I'm like, oh my God, really?
It's like the Lincoln Group.
These guys are literally in control of what your kids are reading in their school book. Literally. They're literally in control. And they not only rewrote the school books, but then they rewrote a lot of the other history books as well, like you would get in the library. So what you got to do is you got to do what I did. You got to go to a library and you got to look for the copyright. Make sure the copyright is sometime before 1982, or you're going to get it's tell them what you're liable to get. You're liable to get, America was founded by Martians or something. Who knows what the heck you're going to get,
Mhm.
But yeah, anything before 1982 is suspect because in 1982, that's when they changed it.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, oh man. Oh my God. But yeah, almost all the hierarchy of this American Historical Society group, they all Skull and Bones members, every one of them.
And guess what?
What's that?
I'm so familiar with that. That's the year I quit school.
That's the year you quit school? Well, that's the year
Yeah,
I graduated in 82.
Okay.
So I mean,
I would have graduated 84.
oh, okay.
Okay.
Why'd you-
I quit
why'd you
school when all that shit went down, and I went and got my GED
Yeah.
at 16.
Oh.
I was supposed to graduate in 1978.
Mhm.
I finally graduated in 1998 from high school.
Oh, geez.
Yes, sir.
Well, better late than never, I guess.
I got my high school diploma in 1998. I already had served in the Army.
As long
already
as you get it. Who cares, right? As long as you get it.
I got it. I just needed to satisfy my own self.
Right.
And that's what it amounts to.
But back to my point though. When the good things happen, they are not reported. They are not talked about.
Yeah, it will not be televised and all that. Yeah,
Correct.
Believe me, I know. But I
Right.
just, I had heard about where the Democrats had found 30,000 votes in the dark of night, just enough to give it to Zip. But I thought that was Youngkin, but that was somebody else.
No, it's Youngkin one.
It's
When
a
did- Young. I have a question because we've always had an issue with yellow journalism. If it bleeds, it leads.
right.
When did we make the transition from yellow journalism into now manufacturing the blood? And that's really one of the issues we have is now we can't kill enough people to make them happy.
That was
so they're generating it.
right around 9/11 with
Yeah.
the Patriot Act.
Patriot
Department of
Act.
Homeland Security.
Yeah, the Patriot Act probably
I was-
did it.
I was
And
talking-
while
I was talking
Obama
media.
was in office, he took off the protection, stopping the CIA from using propaganda
Right.
against the
Against
American
Americans,
people.
Right.
And that implemented all the stopgaps under the Mockingbird program.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Operation Mockingbird.
And that's when
And Agenda 2030.
And
Don't
it-
forget Agenda 2030. Mm-hmm.
Agenda 21, whatever the fuck they got it going now. And
Yeah, they
All
call it
their other
2030
little
now, I
bullshit.
think. I think they call it 2030 now.
The Club of Rome.
Yeah, the club. The Club of Rome is let's see.
The group that started
Brain lock. I know the Club of Rome is in there somewhere. I know they're in there somewhere.
The elites wanted to have a pandemic. They needed something that would coalesce everybody. And the
Yeah.
wars weren't working because there's always going to be a loser and there was always going to be issues with it. So
Correct.
what's the one thing that we can do that you cannot really prove or dispute is it's getting hotter. And it is getting warmer. Now I don't want to argue. I mean, you guys can talk about why
Right.
later, but it is getting warmer. and they attest to the whole deal, and it used it to streamline this all through. I mean, it's,
Well,
it's
if you believe in globe Earth and you believe in space and all that gobbledygook, if you believe in that stuff, all right. NASA is claiming that the sun is going through what they call a solar maximum. Okay?
Minimum. Yeah.
Well, minimum, maximum. It's back and forth. But they say the sun, basically the sun is having a hissy fit. All right.
Yeah.
So I mean, if the sun's having a hissy fit up there, then wouldn't that explain the warming? I mean, come on,
Right.
So if
Because
You're right.
yeah.
Well,
So I mean, what's the problem? What is
I
the
like
problem?
this guy. He's
There ain't
right
no problem.
about.
right. And see, the changes to Earth aren't just isolated to Earth. It's every other planet in the solar system as well.
Exactly. Pluto is heating up. Neptune is heating up. Uranus is heating up. They're all
Even
heating
Saturn's
up.
losing its ice. Yeah.
So yeah, it's now that's if you buy the globe model. I personally do not, but for those people that do, I mean, you could go to NASA's website and read it for yourself. They say all the planets are heating up. So unless we've colonized Neptune and I didn't hear about it, I don't think it's us that's doing this. Call me crazy.
I think that liberals need to colonize Uranus.
hey, they got good fudge, Uranus, Missouri.
Yeah, they got billboards all over the damn place.
I'm going to be a
Phil
nice
told us
person.
about that place.
Hey, Vaughn, did you feel an earthquake today? He had an earthquake. We didn't feel it where I'm at.
I didn't. I
He's
didn't
It was
detect
a
anything. But now, see, you could have micro fissures
southeastern
that
Missouri.
you can have micro fissures and not feel a damn thing. So I mean,
I felt it today.
I thought it was New Madrid, though. It's the New Madrid was shaking, wasn't it?
Close.
I'd have to go check Dutch Sense. He's the one keeping track of all that. So
yeah,
I'd have to go check him. But
3.7 is big.
Well, Mississippi's a natural fault line. Hello, the entire
Right.
Mississippi River. It's a natural fault line.
What happens?
People don't know that.
What happens if a volcano decides to pop up right there at the White House while Biden's in it?
I've been talking about this here recently for some reason. Maybe it's of the gods, I don't know, but I've been talking about this recently. I said, wouldn't it be interesting if my former enemy in the Cold War, Vladimir Putin, would grab up his troops and come over here and just totally clean house, and then as they're getting ready to turn to leave, they say, "Okay, here you go. Here's your country back. See you. Bye." I'd be like, "What?" I just come over here, just totally kick tail, clean everything out, get rid of all the commies. And then just, say, okay, well, here's your country back. See you. Bye. And take off.
Well, I just
Wouldn't that
looked
be
up
crazy?
US. Yeah, it would be nuts. Yeah.
That would be crazy, wouldn't it?
Right, but it won't be. It won't
I've
be
been saying
Russia.
this more and more every day, man. It's
It's going to be the true patriots.
China.
We're not going to.
Yeah, unfortunately, it'll be China, not Russia. But wouldn't it be interesting if Russia did do that? You know what I found interesting even more, though, is Russia and China totally snubbed the G20. Totally snubbed it. And I'm like, now there's an interesting development.
Now that I'll tell you what, that earthquake we were talking about just a minute ago.
Yeah.
That happened up on the plateau.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
50 miles
Just
south of
north.
Woodward.
Yeah, just north of Poplar Bluff.
Okay.
I didn't really feel anything, guys. So, and I was outside quite a bit. So, because it was
Well,
beautiful.
I
Oh,
did.
man, you talk about beautiful today. It was 70 degrees, sun was shining. I'm like, please let us have it like this every day of the year. It was beautiful today, man. It was crazy, surreal, even. It was just, like I said, 70, plenty of sunshine, not a cloud in the sky. It was beautiful today.
Where you at?
Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky. Yeah, it's getting ready to change.
Oh, I know. Believe me,
It's
I
coming
know.
your way.
It's
I was gonna
going
say,
back
where
down
you
to
at?
40. They said it's going back down to 40 today. So, today being Friday or Thursday. So, yeah.
That's
it's
about
going
to
back
change.
down. Yeah, from 70 degrees down to 40 degrees. Yeah, brr.
Yeah.
That's too cold, man. But that's
There's
the
a
weather
place-
for you.
There's a place down in Southern California called Fontana, California. not too far from LA. We used to call that Fontucky.
Is there a lot of transplants there?
It was so it's really, well, people think of it as it's kind of Kentucky-ish.
Backwards.
Yeah.
I'll just
We have a town about 15 miles away from me. It's called Brunswick, and everybody around here calls it Brunseltucky. Same thing.
There you go. Yeah, it's well, you know what? I tell you what, I don't mind the low prices down here though. Backwards as it may be, it's cheap to live down here. You're not paying. Oh my God, dude! I tried to live in New York. I had to leave, man. I had to get out of there. I couldn't stay. I couldn't afford it. I just could not afford it.
Don't tell anybody in Kentucky that you live there.
Yeah, I know.
They'll try and run you out.
Yeah, well, being the only non-Christian in the Bible Belt, it's kind of scary, right? But so far people have been, they pretty much leave me alone, except for I got some haters online that are trying to get the government to aggravate me, but I think the gods are gonna deal with that here pretty soon too. So hopefully that'll be took care of. But yeah, as a non-Christian in the Bible Belt, it is kind of rough, a little bit rough. Good old King James, suffer not a witch to live. Oh wow, thanks, King James, thank you. Man, oh man, oh well. But anyway, yeah, man, I would love nothing better than to see a red wave in 2022 and 2024. But
it will.
Like I told Marjorie Taylor Greene, I just messaged her on Facebook. I said, listen, until we deal with those machines, I don't know what's going to happen. Got no idea.
Excuse me.
Well, they're being dealt with.
Well, I hope so.
I think a good start would just bring them back to the United States to count them. That might be a good start.
Now just burn them all. Just burn them all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you there too. But hey, Vaughn, we've already talked about it. Thoughts on Rittenhouse? Is he walking tomorrow, or is he going to jail?
Well, I'll give you my personal opinion. I don't know if that's a direct statement from the gods. I can't say that, but I can give you my personal opinion. My personal opinion is that they're going to find something on this boy if they have to fabricate it to throw him in jail, because they're not going to let him walk. No way in hell are they going to let this boy walk, because he's a patriotic American. He's pro-Second Amendment. He was doing everything in his power to save his daddy's town. They're not going to let this boy walk. I don't care if it's jaywalking. They're going to get him on something and throw him in jail. Okay, they have to, because right now he is absolutely rubbing it in their face, and they're not going to stand for that, dude. Powers that be are not going to stand for that. They're going to find something on this boy. Oh my God! In 1920, he assaulted a dinosaur or something. They'll find something.
Yeah.
If they have to make it up, they'll find something to get on this boy, because he's totally owning them. He's totally rubbing it in their face, and they don't like that. And so they'll find something on this boy. He'll be made an example of. Don't you worry. And it's unfortunate too. It's unfortunate too.
Colonel Shaw in the house. Salute.
Yeah, it's not. I would love for him to win, but I'm just not banking on it, because the powers that be are still out there. They still exist, and they still got lots of money. And I just don't see him winning. But now maybe the gods, pull a rabbit out of the hat and let him win anyway. I don't know. We'll have to see. They're already saying now that if he wins, that the BLM and Antifa are going to riot in the streets and burn the city.
They're going to riot and do whatever they're going to do either way.
Yeah, well, that's what I said too. It's like, when have they not been rioting and looting, right? So
the stores have just got restocked now. Come on, Vaughn. They're going to riot.
Exactly, man. It's like perpetual
I don't
Black
think
Friday.
So.
Right?
I think they, with the charges they brought forward and they were trying him for, have all been disproven.
They have, yes. They have.
Beyond a reasonable doubt.
Right.
Everything they charged him with has been proven he's innocent.
Right.
There's still involuntary, though. There's still a second count in there on the table.
Well, they're trying to find. They're trying. If I understood correctly, they're trying to slap him with a bunch of misdemeanors about various and sundry different things. You know, a minor holding a loaded weapon and stuff like that. You know, little piddly stuff. Like I said, man, if they could get him for jaywalking, they'll do it. They're gonna find something to pin on this kid because he is totally owning them. He is totally making a laughing stock of these people, and they're not gonna like that. They're gonna
They're
do something.
laughing stock of themselves because they're not on the side of truth.
Well, exactly, but you know they have.
I
The
mean,
power, unfortunately,
I
right
seen something of earlier. There were like people that were active with BLM that were saying, "What the hell are they doing up there with that anyway? There's no black people involved," kind of thing.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
And they keep peeling
Well, yeah,
the
they
layers
were
off the
interviewing
onion.
people last week all over the internet last week. There were interviews going on, people going around asking libtards what they thought about the trial, and they were like, "What these people they were interviewing? They all thought that all the victims of the shooting were black. They had no idea that they were all white.
Yeah. They thought it was like,
Really?
Because they're libtards and they think, oh, if you're in Black Lives Matter, that means you're black. It's like, no, all those protesters that you see at any BLM event, they're all fucking
They're white. Yeah, the vast majority are white. Yeah.
They're all university students and professors.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's who they are.
So they're
I
coming.
live 10 miles away. I live 10 miles away from a major historical liberal arts college that's just a huge libtard haven.
A communist
when all
factory,
those,
Yep.
When the original riots started happening, like before the election, I'm talking 3-4 years before the election, when BLM first got their first start, they were those students at that college. It's called Oberlin College in Ohio. They bust half their student body along with a lot of the professors and the teachers downtown Cleveland to make the crowds for those events.
Red buses, if I recall correctly.
Oh, I don't know about
red and
that,
black,
but,
red buses with black trim,
buses,
which ironically
buses
happens to be
galore.
my favorite colors. Well, how did we get here? Okay, because a lot of people don't know.
It
how
doesn't matter. It's where we're going.
Well, it does matter because we don't want to let it happen ever again. Okay, what happened was, because a lot of people don't know this information. What happened was in 1933, communists came over here posing as professors and got tenure in our colleges and universities.
Yes.
And when that happened, that was the downfall right then and there. And what was it? Khrushchev, I think it was. He pounded his shoe on the podium and he says, "We will destroy you from within." And that's exactly what they did.
Yep.
They sent communists over here posing as professors. They got tenure in our colleges and universities. And it's all been downhill from them. That was 1933. And I don't know if that information is online. If it is not online.
No, it was later than that. Khrushchev was in power back in the 60s.
Oh, was it the 60s? Well, it was 1933 when the commies came over here as professors. I know that. I remember that date specifically.
Well, that was Stalin's speech. He didn't go into
Stalinist stuff.
Khrushchev
Okay,
did.
Well, it might have been Stalin then, but I know Khrushchev pounded. Khrushchev said he would destroy us from within.
He made a huge speech about it. Yeah.
Yeah, he made a big speech about it.
We will infiltrate and take over the evil empire of the West without firing a single shot.
Yeah, we're so evil. It's just horrible. But the thing of it is that a lot of people don't know that information, and I don't think it's online. But what you can do is you can go to an actual physical library, you go back and look through the microfiche, and you will find if you look for 1933, you'll find it's right there. The information's all there, and you can read it for yourselves. That and poor McCarthy, man, the good McCarthy, not the one we got now, which is a rhino, but the good McCarthy. Warning people back then, the commies are taking over. The commies are taking over. The commies, oh yeah, listen at the quack, listen at the weirdo. You know, kind of sounds like what they say about me. Oh, look at the weirdo Von Helden. You know, look at what he say.
The problem with McCarthy is he was the John Birch Society were propping him up. And that's what a lot of they were moral authority type people. They wanted to start controlling what you did in your bedroom and everything else.
Right.
And so that soured everybody toward McCarthy when he started doing the anti-communist propaganda, and they used a lot of that, a lot of the John Birch Society sentiments against McCarthy and made him look bad. The left did. The left used the John Birch, their own, sentiments against McCarthy, and that's what kind of destroyed him. And I'll tell you, myself included, I did not like that extreme right moral majority. They had something called the moral majority, and it turned a lot of people off.
Turned a lot of people off.
It turned a lot of people off to the Republican and the libertarian movement. Then we fast forward and we go to John McCain and Sarah Palin, and they had the support of the Tea Party, and a lot of people had these flashbacks of, oh no, the moral majority people are taking over again. This is this soured me to them. And it wasn't. I never really became a voter until until Ross Perot ran. Ross Perot.
I was gonna join the John Birch Society, and I read some of their material, and like you said, it was quite a bit controlling.
Yes,
and I was a staunch Republican at the time. I was still a Christian. I was still a Christian at the time too, and evangelical. And I'm like, this is awful draconian stuff, man. And so I had to bow out of the John Birch Society.
I'll give you an update. You may have not have heard this. The John Birch Society, I do not think that is still in existence. Last year, probably about 4 or 5 months before the election, they disappeared online. Their website they shut down. You cannot get into any kind of national, phone call for
Interesting.
them. I think they went defunct.
Well, they might have.
Well, I think they created a balance between the far left and the far right.
Right.
They're both on extreme opposite ends. And I think it's good to have that.
As far as all the material that I've read about them, it seemed like they mostly used their influence on college campuses. They didn't do like any big public demonstrations or anything. They just sent representatives to college campuses all over the country. I don't know. That was last
You ever heard of Lyndon LaRouche?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
good night, Huckleberry. Coming in. Good one.
Sweet dreams, Huckleberry.
Good night, Huckleberry. So, have you followed any of Lyndon LaRouche? I mean,
I remember. I vaguely remember it, and I obviously I didn't subscribe to it, so I just kind of like, okay, there it is. It exists. Bye. See you. And that was the end of it for me.
I was learning all about Lyndon LaRouche and everything, and then the more I got into it, I started to get nauseated. I mean, it sounded good. It sounded good. I was fascinated. They were about ending the Fed and other things, and then it got really cultic.
Yeah.
And I just had to. I just started getting a sick feeling. I had to get rid of the Lyndon LaRouche crap out of my head.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason why I'm not associated with it, so.
They lure you in. Yeah. Don't leave, Wood Hippie. Don't leave, Wood Hippie. I know you're quiet on the sideline there.
You would be amazed how many children I rescued from quote unquote conservative cults, guys. You would be amazed. There's not just liberal cults out there. There's conservative cults out there too. And I rescued a lot of children out of conservative, quote unquote, conservative cults Okay, Jim Jones, prime example. When he first started running around, people thought he was a staunch conservative. Okay, now we found out later he wasn't, but that's beside the point. But a lot of people thought he was conservative when he first started running around.
He
Okay,
had the
so
first
you'd be
interracial
amazed.
adoption. He had the first interracial adoption in Ohio, I believe.
He might have, yeah, might have. I'd have to look it up, but he
I
might.
mean, it's at a time when you just didn't do that.
Yeah, well, and like
Yeah.
I said,
I don't know about his background, but he was one sick motherfucker. That's all.
Yeah,
I know.
yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Because
Remember-
I've
remember
heard
the Heaven
stories
Gate?
from the Air Force personnel that were the first responders down there, and they flew in on Black Hawk helicopters, and they said that at altitude, they're like maybe 1,500 feet up, they could smell Jonesville from about 10 miles away.
Wow. Wow.
What were they smelling?
The dead bodies, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the dead bodies, man. Those
5,000
dead bodies are
in the
going to
jungle.
reek.
Hey, Colonel Shaw's taking off. You have a good one, brother. Get some coffee and some Danish and get your day going.
Good night, Colonel.
Absolutely. Have a great day, Colonel.
Yeah, it's 12:32 where I'm at, so all of us on the
Maybe
East
he was
Coast.
just
It's
saying, I don't know.
He's in Europe.
he's in Europe. 6:30.
Yeah,
Oh,
6:30
6:30.
a.m.
6:30
Yeah,
a.m.
He's
Okay.
in the Netherlands.
Yeah, I was going to say they're about 5-6 hours ahead of us, somewhere
Yeah.
around there. Yeah, somewhere around there.
-0.
Well,
Yeah,
minus
He's
zero.
dealing with a complete COVID lockdown again where he lives.
Who
You
is?
can't go outside. Colonel Shaw. He's
Oh.
in the
Yeah,
chat.
well.
He can't leave his house unless it's a desperate emergency or a desperate
I don't know where
supply
this.
run.
If this is going out on YouTube, we can't talk about the C word. So,
We've already done
we
it.
do.
oh, you really?
Yeah.
And you didn't get banned by YouTube?
Or we talk about COVID. We just have to refrain ourselves from chanting anti stuff.
Right? Yeah.
And I
As
was
long
not
as
here
as long
for
as you
that.
only talk good things,
So-
we're good. Don't say
No,
anything
hey.
bad.
There was another medical professional was let go for advocating the I word instead of the CV word. And so I just read that in the news just earlier today. In fact, earlier today. Medical professionals that
How
support the
dare
I
you
word.
heal people?
Yes, how dare you use something that actually works? Right? Oh my
Yeah.
God! How dare you?
I think they want people to get better. They just want to make sure the money goes to the right spots.
No. I've got Bill Gates on video. I know what these things are for. I've got him on video. I play the video every time I do a live show, man.
Right.
Of course, I can't say it here, but you can catch one of my lives over on Rumble or over on BitChute and
Well,
over on Twitch. I mean,
we also got to try to be careful about medical information.
yes. Oh God, yes.
Yeah, that's kind of a trigger there.
Oh yeah, very much so. Very much so.
I think if you just do generalized discussion about the topic and don't give advice, just have discussion amongst individuals on the panel, you'll be okay.
No, not so much.
Not so much. They said they was going to crack down and serious draconian style, just body
We've
slam
already-
anybody and everyone that
We've already been hit. We've already been hit for that.
there is I myself and ironically, okay, I'm a pagan, a friend of mine is a Jew, and another friend of mine is a Christian, and all three of us were removed from YouTube because we were evil Trump supporters. So there's that,
Right.
My God.
Congratulations.
Yes,
all the
yes.
channels
Welcome
that
to the
we've
club.
that we've dealt with the
Yes.
same
Oh my goodness.
issues
You know,
for 2
just
years.
those
Yeah.
evil tweets, guys. Those evil tweets, man. Come on. You know,
What were you saying, Canoes?
What's that?
What we
Well,
Canoes
I'm saying all the channels that we've been running, we've been attacked and shut down for years now.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I've been shut down numerous times too because you know I'm just so laid back and non-controversial. But yeah, man, I've lost about how many channels? Golly, I've lost probably about 5 or 6 channels. You know, my laid back self, you know, my coolio self. But yeah, I just, you know, it's just ridiculous. I mean, this is a public platform, and you would think that they would grow a brain and realize that, but apparently not. So,
Well,
I think everything will be fine until the FCC walks in their door and hands them a nice big sheet of paper. Then things might get interesting. And that might happen, by the way. That might just happen. You never
Actually, I heard that CNN is getting ready to be bought out by somebody.
CNN, I told people years ago, I predicted years ago, I said, you watch. CNN is going to go bye-bye.
They're going to go by.
Google is going to go bye-bye. YouTube is going to go bye-bye. Twitter is going to go bye-bye. Facebook is
Yeah.
going to go bye-bye. I told people this in advance, way in advance, years in advance. I said, you watch. These things are going to go bye-bye. And everybody laughed, of course. You know, CNN's too big to fail. Google is too big to fail. And I'm like, well, take your too big to fail and just watch, because the God's I serve said they're going to take care of this, and they're going to take care of it. And
Zuckerberg can't even stay out of court. Zuckerberg can't even stay out of court.
Yeah. Well, Zuckerberg has a problem. Okay. I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but Zuckerberg had a little deal with the Pakistani government where if they found somebody that was talking about things other than Islam, they would notify the Pakistani government. The Pakistani government would go out there and kill that person, and maybe even their whole family, because I mean that's how they are. See, in Pakistan, it is a death penalty sentence if you speak out against Islam. And you know, and a lot of Zuckerberg's defenders are like, well, maybe he didn't know. No, Zuckerberg knew. Zuckerberg absolutely knew. Okay, 65 innocent people is on Zuckerberg's hands, and that blood is not going to wash off ever. It will never wash off. All right, and so he's getting his karma return now for killing those innocent 65. I mean, their only crime was that they spoke out against Islam. That was it. That was the only thing they'd done wrong. They were not evil people. You know, and Zuckerberg literally helped the Pakistani government find them, detain them, and Zuckerberg personally was involved. Okay, so there's no getting around that, and it's just, you know, it's horrible. It's horrible. 65 people are dead, and see, like I said, you know, the way they believe over there, they'll slaughter the whole damn family. They won't just kill the person; they'll kill the whole family. Okay, so whole family, 65 whole families were wiped out by Zuckerberg. And that blood is on his hands. It ain't going nowhere. And now he's getting his karma return, right? He's now getting his karma return on it. So, yeah. But you'll be amazed. A lot of people are not aware of that story. But, yeah, that was in the mainstream news. It was in the mainstream news. So, he's getting his karma back. That's all. That's what that is, man. Karma going to get you. It's going to knock you off your feet. Better get together, darling, with everyone you meet. You know,
I've heard. I think Google or an ABC company is just the devil. I mean, they got their hands in AI, and they've got data on everybody. I think it's just a bad combination. But
no, it's not ABC; it's Alphabet. But
that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Alphabet. Yeah. But I don't understand how what's gonna bring them down, Wiz. I mean, what do you think? If something's gonna bring them down, what's it gonna be, guys? I don't understand.
I don't know what's going to take them down. All I know is what I was told. Said these institutions are going to go bye-bye. And I'm like, thank you, you know, whatever. However.
Well, I'll tell you this. I've been hearing reports over the last year and a half about conservative groups that are amassing efforts to hostile takeover of the organization.
Well, I don't know. All I know is that what I was told. And then I come and I tell you guys, and then, you know. And then it comes to pass. Wow, imagine that.
Right. Well, I'm just saying that's I've been hearing
Well, that's fine,
different
whatever.
reports about
As long
the
as it's
hostile
based.
takeover efforts.
See, a lot of people, a lot of people when they hear stuff similar to that, they say, "Oh my God, well that's horrible." No, you have to
No.
go read Thomas Jefferson. Okay, we have an actual mandate from Thomas Jefferson. It exists. It's real. I assure you. We have an actual mandate from Thomas Jefferson that if at any time the government ceases to obey the Constitution of the United States, it is a corrupt government and has to be overthrown. And that's where the now famous line that the tree of liberty is watered by the bloods of saints and tyrants. So,
Well, it's also included in the pledge of the Declaration of Independence.
Declaration of Independence, correct, right? And so we have a mandate. We have a mandate. If the government ceases to obey the Constitution of the United States, we are well within our right to overthrow that government and replace it, so long as the government we replace it with is based on the Constitution. But see, a lot of people don't get the Constitution part. They just hear, "Oh my God, hostile takeover."
So you understand do you understand that our government is not the original government of this land?
Oh
right?
God, no, Lord, no. See, okay.
De facto versus de jure.
Well, in 1913, the
No,
Republic.
1871, the Reconstruction Act of 1871
Yes,
is the one
I
that
was going to get
created the corporation.
right. I was going to get there. 1871 and then 1903. The acts of 1871 and the acts of 1903. If we could get rid of those two acts, if we could repeal those two acts right there, believe it or not, Trump could actually walk right back into the White House just as if nothing had happened. Of course, he wouldn't be the 45th president. He would be the 19th president, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. So, but yeah, everybody's like, well, how could Trump do it? How could Trump do it? Well, it's real easy. You repeal the Act of 1871 and the Act of 1903. Trump literally walks right back into the White House as if nothing had happened. And, because a lot of people don't know that either. They don't know about it. They don't know that the America they're in is not the America the founding fathers gave us. Not at all.
Right.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Yeah. We became a corporation in 1903. And a lot of people don't know that. And 1913, though, is pivotal because that was pretty much when it was locked in. And it was
Wilson, that piece of shit.
And the Federal Reserve and the IRS, two totally unconstitutional. I get so angry when I hear a congresswoman or a senator or a congressman, a senator or House of Representatives, doesn't matter. They get on TV. Oh, we're defending the Constitution. You're not defending jack. The Federal Reserve and the IRS are unconstitutional. Roe v. Wade is unconstitutional. And I could go on and on and on all day of unconstitutional entities that this Congress and the Congress before that and the Congress before that and the Congress before that has just sat and let happen and let continue. But they'll get on there. Oh, we defend the Constitution. No, they do not. Because if they truly defended the Constitution, the Federal Reserve, the IRS, Roe v. Wade, and all these other unconstitutional things would not exist. Same with the Supreme Court. Oh, we're defending the Constitution. No, they're not. Because
if I haven't seen a more blatant cause or a more blatant, in-your-face definition of treason.
Oh God, it's so in your face now, isn't it? It's so obvious. And see, the guys told me that too. They said, we're gonna make it so bad that even the most brain dead liberal is gonna be up in arms and ready to pull their hair out. I said, yeah. Well, how you gonna pull that off? They said, watch. Buddy, they're doing it because I'm seeing Democrats fleeing the Democrat Party in droves, man. I'm watching it happen live on my eyes, like, wow.
I heard a report there the last couple of weeks ago that BLM was marching with the Patriots and shit over the vaccine.
Yeah, I heard that too. I'm like, what? What's going on? Maybe they all converted. Who knows? I don't know.
Right.
That maybe. You never know. But I was shocked when I was starting to hear all these Democrats. They're leaving the Democrat Party. It finally dawned on them that the Democrat Party of their great-great-grandfather is not the Democrat Party of today at all. Not even close. and people are finally it's finally registering up here to normal everyday Joes. You know, when Biden cut off what was the Keystone Pipeline? That was 80,000 jobs, 180,000 jobs. I forget how many jobs. Anyway, when they shut down the Keystone Pipeline and all them people lost their jobs, and even Trudeau, a hardcore leftist Trudeau up in Canada, even he got pissed. Okay, and the Democrats saw this. They saw this happen with their own eyes. Okay, so they can't deny
his
it.
income
What's that?
For Canada.
Oh
It cut
yeah,
into his
Canada was pissed.
revenues.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
of
Yeah,
course.
Canada. Oh my God, they were pissed. They're like, oh
Plus,
my God.
yeah.
You know,
Now, Schumer and chat, Schumer, it's not that modern civilization is at its end. It's evolving into what it's supposed to be.
it's a transition, right? You know, it's like the Mayan calendar. Everybody's like, oh my God, 2012, we're all gonna die. And I kept saying, dude, it's shaped in a circle.
Yeah,
It's
it
shaped
happens
in a circle.
again and over. We're
It
going
just
through
starts over again. Yeah. And I kept telling, I'm like, guys, it's shaped in a circle. It's not the end. It's just shaped in a circle. It means there's a transition to a new beginning and a new cycle. That's what it means. It's like it's like for the harvest. Okay. You got time when you got time when you sow your seeds, you got time when you till the soil, you got time when you grow the crops, and then you got time when you harvest the crops. It's something.
Well, we're about to shed our skin of all the idiot, crazy, backward ass, anti-human people.
Yeah, anti-human is a key word there.
Yes,
that is a key
it
word
is.
there. Because I tell you, one of the things that my gods are upset over is this adrenochrome and spirit cooking and all that crap that's going on. That's the thing that gets the gods I serve upset, and they're gonna wipe these people out, man. They're taking them out. They're like, man, and I told them, I said, that's some sick stuff, man. And they're like, don't worry, man, we get it. We're going to expose all the evil in America. And boy, have they. Epstein Island, spirit cooking, adrenochrome, political ambrosia, and all the corruption going on in the United States. They said, we're going to expose all the evil in the United States. And once we expose it all, we're going to destroy it and liberate the United States totally and completely. And then as goes the United States, so goes the world. And so others will be liberated as well. Now, I talked to them. I said, well, what about the 300 Lee families? They said they will be dealt with even at the door. Okay, so in other words, it's imminent. It's something that's coming. Okay, so these elites are going to be dealt with. I mean, you figure when we get rid of this fiat currency, everybody's like, oh my God, collapse. I just saw the other day, the dollar's going to collapse. The petrodollar's gone. Everything's going to, and that's, yeah. And I'm okay. So that's a good thing, because then the fake money is gone. We replace it with real money that's backed by something, whether it be gold, oil, precious stones, whatever it is, doesn't matter. As long as it's backed by something tangible. And, everything will be fine. I mean, Iceland's been this way for years, but you don't hear that much about Iceland, right? You don't hear much about them. But see, they kicked out all the Rockefeller and Rothschild banks. They kicked out all the politicians and military personnel that supported the Rothschilds and Rockefellers. They kicked them all out. And they've been enjoying like a 200% GDP ever since. But you won't hear it in the news because the news is controlled by the 300 Lee families. So you won't hear it in the news. But yeah, man, 200. Can you imagine 200% GDP? Can you imagine that? I mean, that's phenomenal. That's crazy. But
have you heard from Hagar recently, Canoes?
No, I haven't heard hide or hear of him in over a year.
Yeah,
Yep.
We had a friend that was from Iceland.
It was before Sick Pat died. I think when Sick Pat died, he stopped coming up.
Right. Hey guys, I need to crash. I'm on generator time. I need to drop down. It's about time for me to turn into a pumpkin anyway. I'm gonna go and I gotta do. Okay, fire in the bowl. Hell yeah!
In the bowl.
Nah, the sun ain't something wrong with the sun, man. And I'm not getting the power I should. I'm off the grid. solar energy generators, you know. So,
And you get a nice big fat check from the government every month too. At least you're supposed to.
since
The,
when?
the electricity you don't use goes back in, and then they're supposed to give you a check for that.
Oh no, I'm completely. I told them to take their fucking lines and shove it up their ass.
Oh, okay. You're not hooked up to the line at all. Okay.
No, I told them to get the shit off my property.
Yeah, Missouri's program for if you're a solar producer and you try to sell back to the state, it's fucked up in Missouri.
Oh,
Yep, they'll keep it for a year and then decide if you haven't used up your credits or not.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm from the government and I'm here to help you. So, I mean, you know.
Can you auction those credits? Can you auction those
Okay,
credits?
good night
though?
then. Bye.
What were you saying, Wood?
Can you auction those credits? Can you sell those off? I mean, could you bid those out?
No, you can't. You don't get to do shit. They decide for you what you're going to get.
Oh, okay. I was thinking that if you could get those credits and then leverage them, that might be worth something.
No, because even if they decide you got credit, you have a balance over your usage. They're only going to give you 5 cents a kilowatt for it. That's it.
5 cents a kilowatt. Damn.
Yeah, they're fucking these people here. I told them to take their shit and get it off my property.
Well, yeah, certainly. Yeah, if you're not, I mean, if they're
Well,
going to
it's
take
over
you
$400 a year just to have the damn service connect on the property.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was like $38 a month to have the damn drop on the property.
Yeah, they're dicking you around because you're self-sufficient. That's why. That's what that is.
Well, they ain't digging me around no more. I told them I was doing construction. I needed to get those lines out of here. When we bring it back in, I'm gonna bring it underground. They happily came out and took the lines out, and the transformer and their fucking meter and their smart shit, and they took it off my property.
Yeah, their little smart meter that's so stupid it can't give you a decent number anytime. Right?
And it'll burn your Wi-Fi. It'll burn your internet connection too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep. It uses your internet connection to communicate.
Oh my goodness!
So if someone hacked into that, it theoretically could hack into your. They could bypass.
Oh, they could mess your world up. Yeah.
Yep.
And now the trolls know everything about it. Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah. But they don't need a meter to do that. They can do it through the lines.
Yeah, they can do it through the lines. Yeah. Well, they're gonna get you it going and coming either way. You know.
Right. So I'm gonna take off, guys. God bless you.
I am too. Actually, I'm going to take off and go do my go work on my airplane. I'm building a. I don't know how many of you know about World War I aircraft. Any of you know about World War I aircraft?
Yeah, I know that
the old biplanes and stuff. Yeah, I'm building an old biplane. I'm building an old biplane out of foam board, and so I'm going to get in there and get at it. So I'll see you guys.
Yeah, I'll see you.
Right, take care,
guys. Peace out.
Okay.
And it is now the Canoes and Itchy Fingers show.
Canoes and Itchy Fingers.
I'm actually gonna have to leave you for like a minute because I really gotta fucking piss. I'll be back in a minute.
All right. I'll hang out here and talk to Colonel Shaw and anybody else that's hanging out, lurking. Are we having coffee, Colonel Shaw? Yeah. Coffee. Why are you just lurking? How come you don't come up here with us, Valentine? She come up here all sleepy and shit. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yep. It's getting ready to turn 11 o'clock my time, and it's probably 1 o'clock your time, Canoes, right?
Close, yeah. So yeah, it's a Wednesday. It's hump day. It was a long day. I think I'll load up my pipe one more time. We'll have one last hurrah for the night.
I know you came up here, Valentine, the other night, and thank you for that. But, you know, you can't come up here enough.
Well, not everybody.
Help us keep the stream running by coming up here. Colonel, you too.
Yeah, well, he's on that soft lockdown right now. I don't know if he can come up because usually he does that when he's driving around. If he's locked down, I don't know. And it's not the weekend either. He only likes to go on the weekends.
Answer me this question, Colonel Shaw. How long of a drive, how many hours is it to get to Denmark from where you are?
I would say at least a 10-hour drive.
10 hours?
Possibly. I'm trying to imagine the landscape in my head. Because he's kind of in the southern part of the Netherlands. Okay, he says 6 hours. Okay.
Yeah. That'd be so cool to be in Denmark in 6 hours, to be in Germany in less than a day's drive, or Belgium. I don't think he likes to go to Germany, but Belgium. Belgium is short drive, I think.
Yeah, Belgium's fairly close.
Just for me to go, say, to Yellowstone, it's about 9-hour drive. Imagine that.
Yeah.
And that's because I have to go around a lot of very hard terrain where they don't have highways, you know, so you got to kind of loop around to get into Yellowstone Park. But it's a beautiful place to go. 30 minutes to Belgium. Wow. One hour to Germany. Damn it. You're right in the hub of Europe right there. You can go wherever you want.
Well, that big airport that they got there in Amsterdam is Schiphol is one of the world's biggest transit airports. It's one of the top 5 European hubs, I believe.
Now there is a dog that I really want, and it's called a Belgian boat dog. It's called a Schipperke. And I would really like to have one of those. I wish I could get a puppy. A little black Schipperke. They're super cool. They're like a little mini me for a border collie, you know? I wonder if Colonel Shaw could get me a Schipperke.
Oh, shipping a dog internationally is a pain in the ass, man.
Yeah, I bet. Especially if it's a purebred.
They, depending on the countries involved, some of them involved like a 3-month quarantine, shit like that.
But that's a breed of dog I've wanted for a super long time. It's a small little dog, and they got a whole lot of attitude. I mean, kind of like a Chihuahua, they don't really realize that they're not a big dog, you know? Zwoel.
Yeah, it's Zwoel, I think the name of it is. It's in southern Netherlands, I believe. I just saw it in a documentary I was watching about a Canadian soldier.
Yeah, Zwoel.
Zwoel. I might be spelling it wrong. I don't know.
I watch that guy in Canary Islands do the reports. Calls himself Bushcraft Bear, and he's constantly giving these volcano updates and stuff. Seems like he's kind of freaked out by the volcano, you know. But he sounds like he's from Netherlands. He doesn't sound like he's from the Canary Islands. Otherwise, he'd probably have more of a Spanish accent. His accent sounds Dutch. Not German, but Dutch. Bruges.
Yeah, Bruges is supposedly one of the, I believe it's considered the best preserved medieval European city in all of Europe. And
did I pronounce it right? Bruges?
Bruges, I believe. Yeah.
Bruges.
I remember seeing it. The first I'd heard of it was about 10 years ago. I saw this movie. It was an action shoot 'em up movie, but it was called In Bruges, and it took place it was a bunch of assassins or something that were running around this old, medieval city. It was so fucking gorgeous.
So Zwolle is east of Holland, he says.
Cool. Yeah, there was this Canadian soldier that was like a total fucking Rambo badass, and he single-handedly saved this town called Zwolle. And they say that to this day, the local schools there teach the students about him and his history tied to the town. I think they're like a sister city with a town in Canada, in his memory.
I've heard of Trieste, Germany. I'm probably not pronouncing it right. It's probably Trieste.
Well, Trieste is in Italy. I think this is Trieste, Germany. Now, there is a town in France that I don't know the name of it, but it was preserved. It was, badly damaged in World War II. The French government saved the town, and they kept it in the state of its worst destruction, and you can still tour it just like it was in 1945. Blown up buildings and shit like that.
I know I've heard of Trieste.
Yeah. That's where I believe Jacques Cousteau was based out of for a while. The oceanographer. It's right on the Adriatic coast.
I want to know about the city, and it's a massive city. It actually looks like a European shithole in actuality, but I think Strasbourg, it's got like this, I don't know, it once was France and now it's German. I don't really quite understand the politics behind Strasbourg. Have you ever been to Strasbourg, Colonel Shaw? It's got a lot of German signs and stuff, but I think Strasbourg, I think they speak mostly German there. It's been French at different times, and then got reconverted back to German. Oh, it's French now. Okay. See, I'm thinking that's where some of my ancestors might come from there. But they had German sounding names. And somebody told me that the names sounded like Strasbourg. Like, I'll throw out some names because it's not my name, it's ancestors' name. The last names were Rodenheitzer, Elmer, Yost, Bonkers, And I thought they were Dutch names, especially Bonkers. I thought that was a Dutch name. Here, when we say Bonkers, it sounds like a crazy person. So, do they sound German to you, Colonel Shaw? Like Elmer and Rodenheitzer and Bonkers? Rodenheitzer spelled R-O-D, not R-O-T. German, okay. I don't want to be German. I don't want to be German. Damn it. I only know the names. I don't even know what country they came from. I just saw them when I was going through microfilms of genealogy and stuff. Rodenheitzer, Joost, Elmer. Let's see. Zwicker. The last name is Zwicker. Joost, yeah. I thought Dutch too. How about Zwicker? Zwicker. That's how I would pronounce it. Z-W-I-C-K-E-R. He says Joost. Joost is Dutch. Spelled J-O-S-T, so it's single O. Zwicker with a Z. Z-I-C-K-E-R. Fucking Germans. I don't want to be German.
Oh man, yeah, they got their faults, but man, I can't blame them for their food. I could literally spend a year and visit every single state in Germany and sample their food.
I'm kind of joking because actually I lived a year and a half in Germany in the army. And I went to a lot of places and met a lot of local people, you know, and I got to tell you, I love German culture and the food and the culture in general. My mom went there and it completely disagreed with her. She said they were very cold people. But I did notice that when you first meet them, they seem kind of standoffish until you get to know them and they warm up. And they're actually very kind and nice people in Bavaria. I'm only speaking for Bavaria. I don't know about other parts of Germany. Other parts of Germany might be different. I don't know. But I noticed very friendly people up in Hanover. I took the Bahnhof to Hanover a few times, and that's where they have that big mini city there. Everything is like miniature. They have a mini Las Vegas, a mini New York. They've got the skyline, everything. They've got a mini Tokyo, and it's this big building in Hanover, and each floor has its own display, you know. And then they have this giant control center inside there where they control the days and nights in the little mini cities and stuff. And you just walk around and look at this stuff, and it's like all miniature cars and figurines and airports and all kinds of crazy stuff. And that's in Hanover, Germany. So if you like things like trains, you know, and like that kind of thing. Cars that move around. Even you'll watch an airplane disembark, and you'll see like stairs roll up to the airplane, and you don't see like figurines going down the stairs or anything, like Biden falling down or something.
Yeah.
That would be funny though. That would be funny if somebody did that. Did like a miniature figure of Biden falling up the stairs while he's going on Air Force One.
Oh, well, Colonel's taking off. You have a good day, my brother. Have a good one.
Have a good day, and don't do anything wrong, Colonel Shaw.
Don't get caught.
Yeah, if you do something wrong.
Eat 3 Danishes and tell your wife you only had one.
Or just eat a Danish. Try to get it to stop moving before you eat it.
Oh, that's one thing that Europeans do good is fucking pastry.
Oh, yeah.
Danishes. Oh, Polish pastry and Ukrainian pastries, Slovakian. Serbian. You ever had Serbian food before? Serbian food's great.
I want to try it. I love Serbian people.
I was friends with a Serbian kid in high school and had occasion to have dinner over at his place, and it was delicious.
Well, you know what? I hear Irish food is actually really good too.
Yeah. And I had the same. I had a Lebanese friend. That's where I learned that, Levantine food, freaking delicious.
And typical everyday Scottish food does not sound good to me. I mean, they eat a lot.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, like home cooked food, they eat a lot of fish. I think in Scotland,
Plain unflavored, like rye cakes and shit like that for their bread.
yeah.
But I love the Scottish women too.
I like all Celtic women.
Scottish. English, Welsh.
Well, yep.
And
all.
The Irish are funny people, but Irish Americans, ooh.
Oklahoma has a lot of redheads. That's one state in the U.S. that has an awful lot of redheads.
We've got quite a bit here in Ohio because of Cleveland. It was a big Irish, immigrant stronghold back in the day. Not like Boston or Chicago, but
yeah.
And to this day, Irish Catholic churches are huge around here, and the Protestant ones too. But
there's actually a lot of Irish in Illinois too. I didn't know that.
Yep, they came to Chicago and then drifted south throughout the state.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of surprised. There's probably an equal amount of Irish and Polish people in Illinois. A lot of Irish and Polish. They're all Catholic.
Yeah, historically in the Cleveland area, we've had probably 26 major European populations, that came along with the big immigrant, wave back at, 150 years ago. Predominantly Polish, a lot of Russians, a lot of Jews. But lately, like we've gotten just within the last 20 years, a huge population of Somalians. It's like any Somalian that wants to immigrate to the U.S., they want to come to Cleveland for some reason.
Probably because they've heard about it and they know it's kind of inner America.
Well, and their biggest economic sector, they're when they come here, they all become cab drivers. It's like it's hard to find a cab anywhere in the county that isn't run by a Somalian.
Well, we've got our share of Somalis here too.
But going back like 30 years, we get a lot of Palestinians, a lot of Egyptians, a lot of Iraqis. That was going on back when I was in school.
I think Egyptian ladies are stunning.
A lot of Indians too.
Egyptian, Ethiopian ladies, very, very beautiful. Sometimes you'll see them, they'll have really dark skin and blue eyes. Drop dead, freaking gorgeous, and real tall and like long muscled, just very attractive. Nubian ladies.
Yeah, we don't get any of that around here.
I met this woman in a store. I went into the store, and I had never seen a woman that looked like her ever. And I couldn't stop looking at her. I just couldn't stop. And all of a sudden, her husband came out. and
Give a little salute and walk away.
yeah, I kind of like, well, nice to meet you and everything. And I keep on going. But her husband, they both were black with blue eyes.
Yeah.
But straight hair. Black, blue eyes, straight hair, and just stunningly. Her husband was a real handsome guy. She was she looked like a supermodel. I mean, I've never seen as beautiful people as they were.
Yeah, those kind of genetics, they're kind of rare over in this part of the world.
Yeah.
I don't see too many of that. And
Really?
The ones that you have seen are, like pop stars or media figures and shit like that.
And they were Egyptian. It was an Egyptian store.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen people that looked like that. Very attractive people. I mean, unbelievable. And I've never seen anybody like that since. And her blue eyes were such a bright, like a real light, just super blue,
Now, here in Cleveland, we have a thing that's been going on for, going 15 years now. They have a tall ship show at the main harbor in Cleveland. And they invite tall ships, sailboats that are, a lot bigger than normal sailboats to come in, and party for a week and everything. And you can take tours on the boats and meet the crews. And we had... Every couple of years, we get this ship that comes out of the Netherlands, where Colonel's at, and it's like a school ship. They spend the entire school year on the boat, and they cross the Atlantic, and they come over here and tour the Great Lakes and everything. And the one year that I went, the crew was like 95% female. And you want to talk about some beautiful, full-blooded Dutch girls, blonde and blue-eyed. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
And I've seen Dutch that I didn't think were very attractive. Well, some of the Dutch that I had seen.
Most of these were fairly to very attractive. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some that I knew they were from Holland and they were speaking Dutch. It was a group of people that I was at the airport and I had gotten off the plane and they were in lobby area or something. And they were all speaking Dutch and they didn't seem very attractive. They seemed really pale also.
I remember the last time that I rode Amtrak was about 11 years ago. I was coming back from Chicago to Cleveland, and somewhere along the way we picked up an Amish family that were returning from a wedding, and they were old school, like the hardcore Amish, from Germany and everything, where most of them didn't speak any English. And I shared a compartment with them for like the last half hour of the train trip. And I tried to engage them in conversation. And I'm like, good night. And ask me, how are you tonight? Because I know a tiny bit of German. And they lit up. They're like, oh my God, it's an Englisher that can speak, old school German. And I'm like, that's about all I know. I'm just trying to be friendly. And the grandmother couldn't understand it. And she's like, why won't he talk to me? Because her grandson's translating. And he's like, he told me, he's like, yeah, grandma just said that, you try to be funny and make a joke at us and everything. I'm like, no, it's just I only speak a tiny bit of German. I was just saying hello and hope you had a good trip. And she thought complete misunderstanding. She was like frowning, and man, she probably would have spit at me if she was on the train any longer. It was kind of funny. Oh. Yeah, but the grandson, he was like, oh, yeah, that's cool. You can speak some old school German. I'm like, yeah, because I inherited an old school English German dictionary and taught myself a few phrases years ago.
I just went through a program in Germany called the Head Start program. And it was for military people so that we could get kind of a basics on customs and phrases and words to use to get places,
Yep.
Just to kind of help you on your way. But I caught on to German, and I started getting really good at German, where I could actually hold a conversation with German people.
Yeah, see, that's one of the regrets I have about my education. I wasted 6 years on French when I should have, like in middle school, taken introductory Spanish for like 2 years, Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. And then when we went to high school, they offered German, 4 years of German. I should have taken the German because French is completely useless.
Well, I don't know. At one time, my mother tried to teach me French, and she'd always pinch my cheeks and try and make me pronounce the words right, And she used to talk to me in French, and she would say, okay, now what do you say now? And I said, I don't want to speak it. She said, why? I said, because you always pinch my cheeks. I just don't want to speak it. And then I come across freaking Canadians, right?
Yeah.
I could understand them. I can understand them, but I will not answer them in French.
Yep. Because if
the fuckers are always trying to correct me. They're being like my mama. They all think they're my mom, and they want. You get away from me. I don't want to talk French to you.
Yep. Yeah, see, my problem was that I had mostly the same teacher throughout the years of when I took French. Like 1 or 2 years, I had a different teacher, but for like 4 years, my French teacher was the wife of one of my father's best friends growing up, and she knew the family and everything. She's like, "Oh, you're a Garsic, I'm gonna ride you hard all year." I'm like, "Oh no." I'm like, please no. And she's like, oh no, we're going to switch you into the honor program and everything. And I'm like, I went through, after 6 years of French, I could read French perfectly. I couldn't, hold conversation in it. I could read it and write it like crazy, but actually speaking it, oh man, I hated it.
Now, what helped me with Spanish was immersion learning, actually living in a
Yeah.
predominant Spanish-speaking area.
That's how my cousin's a Spanish teacher in high school, and that's how she does it, or her class.
So
Basically does not let them speak English in the classroom.
yeah, but that's not the same as getting out in the community and actually working with Mexican people and
Yeah.
stuff like that, like I did. But if you ever look at, I mean, Spanish is a very colorful, beautiful culture, the old Spanish culture.
Mm-hmm.
And when Mexico was settled, they used to have the most ornate calligraphy that you would ever see ever in your life. It would be just all flowery and everything. I mean, their
Well,
calligraphy.
I can imagine that. The most beautiful calligraphy I've ever seen. My mother's mother, my grandmother on the maternal side, she was born in Germany, or my mistake. She was born in a German immigrant town in Michigan, and she didn't learn English until she was 16 and went into high school. And when we cleaned out her house after she died, we found her birth certificate and the marriage certificate for her parents and her grandparents. And they were not just like a calligraphy scroll document. They were like illuminated manuscripts.
Oh yeah,
With gold leaf and everything. We pulled these things out of the box. We're like, oh my God. It's like museum pieces. You could frame them up and put them in a museum. They were that fucking beautiful. And I'm sure they're worth tons of money.
So, in Mexico and in Spain, their culture, their belief was the more ornate and hard to duplicate the calligraphy, the more what's the word I'm thinking of? The more legal it was, the more binding the document was.
Yeah.
It had more clout. The more effort that was put into the calligraphy, the more important it was. So the lawyers when they would they made legal documents, and doctors would make really, beautiful, ornate writing as well. And that was kind of a Spanish, that was that peacock kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was in the Spanish culture. I mean, they were like peacocks. They really were. The more elaborate and ornate something was, the more value it had.
Yeah.
So that's why they did that. But Mexican calligraphy, I got looking through microfilms when I was doing some Mexican genealogy for the other side of my family and everything, and I couldn't even read it. It was just so flamboyant is the word I'm looking for. It was really flamboyant freaking calligraphy. It wasn't even like illuminated type of calligraphy, what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a lot of borders and artwork, maybe some gold and stuff like that in it. Theirs was just like the lettering was just unbelievably flamboyant.
Well, yeah, with these documents that my grandmother had, because you're familiar with the old school printed German lettering that's all sharp and long and
yes, I love it.
Very definitive. I mean, the whole thing was done in German, and it had like a header space. The first like third of the top of the page was all like an ornate, kind of semi-religious drawing and everything with different, it was all colorized. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. I actually, because I was a sign painter, that's my primary trade that I was in, I was developing, different lettering techniques and stuff. And I got heavily into calligraphy. And so I developed what I call a natural hand of calligraphy. And it was, I had it evaluated. I said, this is the calligraphy I'm most comfortable writing. It comes